Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live. Welcome to another Saturday night
Yo!
episode of Masterpiece Shitpiece Theater. I'm your host, Nick, and I've got Russ and Sam with me, and we're going to have a good night, guys.
Hello, everybody.
So, what was up with y'all's weeks this week?
Ooh, well. You want to go first, Sam? Go ahead.
Busy. So we
Yeah.
I know we've talked about like the house stuff here, and I think we're gonna buy this house and then add on to it. So we've had, it's just like whatever the construction professional, if you can name it, they've been to our house this week just to look around and get a sense of things. So it's just like, it's not anything major, but it's like every day I got like rush home from work and meet this person here and that person there, and it's good. We're gonna get some wheels turned. I'm on spring break this week, so I'm gonna be trying to weasel my way onto everybody's podcast for the next 10 days or so.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm glad. Sucks to miss last week, but I'm glad to be back with you boys.
I've been meaning to try to hit up.
You see
Yeah,
behind me,
bubble
like
wrap,
the
man.
fucking bubble wrap.
Yeah, you got some shipping, dude. Thank you, man. You got me caught up on these damn gargoyles, man.
Yeah.
That Demona, she popped up on Target, and I was able to get her. And then,
I
you
missed
said you were
out,
there
man.
and saw
I
those
missed
Bronxes.
out.
I was like, "Fuck, give me that, Nick." Because Nick said in the group chat, he's like, they got these turtles, they got 2 Bronx. And I texted him right back. I was like, dude, Bronx. And then
She looks good. Yeah, I want to get her for Anna. I'm gonna go try to hit
Dude,
Target, hit the
she's,
stores and find her. But
she's great,
looks
man.
good,
They did a great job. The paint's good. The airbrushing that they
What's
did
up,
on
Brink?
her is great. Kudos to him, dude. Yeah, Brink. So he was I think he posted like his little setup that he has, which looks fantastic, right? His gargoyle setup, and I commented, I was like, yeah, I just got caught up.
Yeah.
And so like these wings are, I hate them. So like they're just like this, and you can't do anything with them. Like I can't stand 2 of them next to each other. So I was like, well, what if I was thinking of heating it up. I would cut here, put a Revoltech joint in here so I can at least like articulate it down, right?
Right.
So they could just be kind of like have a normal
Oh shit! What's up, Dave?
portrait. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but they use like this super hard. It's like this really hard brittle plastic that like you can't boil and cut this, like unless I use like some of these like wire snippers or whatever, which I could do that. Like I'm thinking all this shit through. Like I could do it, and I could sand this down and get it to look nice. But then like I wouldn't be able to drill a hole to get a joint.
That's
Matt
what I've been
Billings
told.
posted. Yeah, it was real quick. Matt Billings posted a thing like some dudes have like they basically heated them up with like a hair dryer.
Right.
And they did the thing that I always tell people not to do, like don't heat it to the point of warping the plastic. But like this dude was heating up with a heat gun. He's like molded the wings until they like fit a nice little kind of medium profile. And I think I'm gonna have to try that out. I'm really nervous about it, but
I bought a heat gun.
Did you really? Oh wow, you're going to work.
But it is what it is.
All I've been hearing from people is, I mean, I bought Anna Goliath. I mean, Anna was a huge Gargoyles fan. I liked them, but not as much as she did. So I got her Goliath, right? And then she's like taking out the box because she's all of a sudden Anna's become a fucking inbox collector. Go figure. Anyway, but
I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I got to deliver Star Wars shit. It's not coming out. That hasn't come out the box either. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But I've been told by people though that the plastic they're using is very stiff and brittle, and if you're not very careful,
the wings, man, like
you're not careful, you can break.
Yeah,
so
the figures themselves. I mean, I just did it to see because I know someone in the group chat, maybe Matt Heard, said like he's never had an issue with a NECA figure, and I don't believe him, but he's lying all the time. He's like, yeah, we'll go, okay, Matt. No, but like I got Demona out the package. I said, let me just see, and like I couldn't get either of her elbows to bend at all. You know what I mean? So I had to.
Yeah.
I posted that picture. I had to heat her up and just so I could manipulate everything. But it's like there's this wing from McFarlane and it can just do this, like splayed out, just one joint. And I'm like, God, why couldn't they have just done that?
Mythic Legion's wings are a lot like that. They
you
have
buy
that
those?
one joint where you can you can buy them. Yeah, you can buy them.
Because that might be another option too, man.
I don't know if there's any up for sale on BBTS anymore. They might have been sold out, but I think the Horsemen are supposed to be making more of them. I think they're supposed to
I
go
saw some on eBay for like $50 a pair, which I'm like, nope, too much.
Right.
Too much for this. Like,
dude, every time when it comes to the Horsemen, as soon as their shit hits eBay, you're skyrocketing. It's nuts, dude.
but seriously, even with those stiff ass wings on Goliath, he was one of my favorite figures last year. Top 2 figures, definitely.
Oh yeah, he's great. I mean, I like what they did. Like they didn't go, and it's like they did what I think should be just the route, right? They didn't go full cartoon. Because like he has like this detailed musculature, which you never saw that in the cartoon just because of time and budget constraints and everything. Like
I just thought he was chubby.
South Korean people you can find, you know what I mean? But it's like you're not going to get that. But so I'm glad they went that route as opposed to like what you see with Super 7 Power Rangers. Like
I just thought he never missed dinner, dude. That's all I thought about.
Like
don't miss dinner.
Goliath,
man.
But yeah, Nick's saying, dude, like they knocked out of the park. And it sucks too because what they did with that Bronx throwing in that extra pair of wings, I thought that was their way of saying, okay, hey, we fucked up, but we know you're gonna get Bronx, so take Goliath's wings. And I thought that was just a kind of given that they were gonna include those with the rest of them, and they didn't. I don't know how they package them. But it sucks that they're not going to just keep doing that with all of them.
I thought Damona's wings were supposed to come with Hudson.
Is that true? I don't know. I'm not sure.
So that would make sense because she was one of the first 3 to come out. Yeah. So they might have had her boxed up and ready to go. But then like Hudson doesn't come with them.
Oh, really?
What's the other one's name? Brooklyn doesn't come with them. Lexington hasn't had a pre-order yet, but
see, Lexington is the one I would think they would probably have.
But you know what?
Include him with because
he'd be tough to do. Yeah, and his wings were like attached to his arms.
Right.
You know,
to be honest with you, NECA is known for doing accessory packs.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. And I'd buy the shit out of it. If they did,
I would, man.
I'd buy the draped over the collar one. I'd buy the articulated ones. I'd be more excited about those. Yeah. But I mean, just kind of how they are now, you can't stand 2 of them next to each other. I got Goliath and Damone here right now. Neither of them have their wings on.
I think that's why I would get Bronx really and
well, you gotta
you didn't even get him because one he's Bronx. I loved him. I thought he was cool, you know. But in the show, but because he comes with those wings, that's the look that I remember most of Goliath was him having those wings like a cape. They look like a cape, man. Badass, dude. They just look cool as shit, you know. So I don't know. That's the look I remember. So
talking about Bronx, so I got Sam and heard Bronx because they had 2 at Target here.
Nice.
I got mine because I didn't know if I was going to get at the Target here from Wolf. So I'm waiting on mine. It's
why you just shipped out 2 of them.
Yeah.
You could open mine, man. Through a different
I was like, you know what? Shit, it might be cheaper for Wolf to send it to Russ, and I'll just keep. Sam, and I'll just keep this shit. Yeah.
I'm gonna probably go start checking Targets and looking for Damona just because I know I haven't had a chance to yet. I just haven't had time to go hit Targets. So you
gotta get the whole cast. Gargoyles,
and it's
Gargoyles
like,
is such an
ensemble. I was kind of going. I was going through the thing, and I'm like, and I was like, you can in under 10 figures. I think you can have because I feel like you get what's Goliath, Damona, Lexington, Bronx, Brooklyn, Hudson. I forget the girl's name. And then what's Jonathan Frakes' character's name?
That was
what girl? Angela,
yeah. And then Xanatos. And then if you wanted to get fancy, get Goliath's daughter. Wasn't that his daughter?
Oh, I thought
that was like in the other season though. There was like another season. It was like technically a different show.
Well, season 2.
Yeah,
that's when Goliath. I forget her name.
Angela was Goliath's daughter.
Yeah, that's Goliath's
daughter.
So
who's the main girl? What's her name?
She
looks like Carmen Sandiego.
Alicia.
No, like the human Alicia. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, the human chick, that
Yeah,
the cop.
and then you get
Awesome.
you get her, and then Xanatos, and then like the robot gargoyle, or like
Just
the
let me
suit.
know. Yeah, the Steel Clan.
Yeah, and I think if I had those, I'm good.
All right, so how many was that? Was that 10 total?
That was 10 total.
Shit. Because I need a Macbeth.
Well, they also did a Thalog too, right?
That to me is
So,
well, yeah, that's a.
But he wasn't
no-brainer.
he wasn't on for the whole show though. He was
Yeah,
he didn't
and
come
that's
out
just
until later.
That's just a no Thalog.
Oh, Phalog, no.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just a
Thalog was-
repaint. So
right, and yeah, I know, but I'm just saying they're doing the character, I guess I would say. But
I'd
he was
like-
the most easy money grab ever.
I'd
I pass
like
on him. I don't need him.
I'd like the pack.
Huh?
Who
Why not?
were they? Were they the
They
weren't
were the
they like those? They
mercenaries.
were, yeah, they were cool.
Yeah.
We just watched that
And-
episode the other day.
And Fox was the Xanatos's wife.
That was his wife. She's the one
And
that
they
ended up
had the
becoming
kid.
Yeah.
Dude,
She had
what?
something.
I can't remember for the life of me the fucking lawyer's name.
The guy with glasses, the little
Yeah,
the
who
dorky
ended up being Puck.
yeah,
I can't.
I can't remember.
I could see NECA doing that or going that deep. But hey, yeah, Brink said in the chat, Damona's gonna get a wider release, and he said he's talking to
that's
you,
cool.
Russ.
Thanks,
He said
Brink.
don't get discouraged and ranty. And you haven't, but I have seen a lot of people do that.
I'm gonna
thing of kind of saying
look
like,
around
because wasn't EE out because of that, and I think Matt was talking about getting out because.
Did they make
that
Demona basically a Target exclusive at first?
She was her and Bronx both were like early releases to Target because of the haulathon thing, and then they're gonna put them out like normal.
Okay, so eventually BBTS is gonna get their hands on them.
Yeah, and you just gotta wait.
Right.
I was lucky and got both early, but
yeah. I mean, I'll go look around. If I find them, great. But if not, cool.
I was surprised by how much cartoon turtle shit that they've had at my Target just sitting.
Yeah.
Like they had that 4-pack that you posted, Nick. They've had a stack of those for 2 weeks, and I think for that it's like if you're a collector, you got the 4 turtles already somehow.
Yeah.
And 150 is too much for an impulse buy. So I feel like those are probably going to be. Dude, and that fucking turtle wagon. Oh my god, dude, that's got me wanting to get back in on that line that I got out of 2 years ago because it was stressing me out too much.
I keep finding those 2-packs they did Karate Kid and Ninja Turtle figures. That's the ones I keep running across.
Oh,
I'm like, oh geez, I almost want to get it just for the Karate Kid figure because I give a shit about turtles.
That was NECA. NECA's got the license for both. That was NECA.
Yeah, they do.
Who did they do them? Or which
I think
like
what
version
was
of the turtles
because who I think Leo was Leo with Johnny.
Let me
I don't remember. I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
They put a turtle with one of the kids.
Man.
I think they did Raph with Johnny.
Yeah, Randy Raph with Johnny. I couldn't remember who it was.
And Leo with Danielson.
Leo's with Daniel. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know. The only one I think I saw was the one with Leo in it, and I saw. And I've
okay, yeah, that was Playmates because they use those old Ninja Turtles bodies that they put out in like 2014 or something. And also,
really?
I just remember them not looking good. So
yeah, I'm sure.
But NECA did do some 8-inch. It looks like Karate Kid stuff too. So.
Yeah,
licenses galore.
Playmates got the fucking Star Trek license back from Diamond.
Oh, dude!
No
cool.
shit!
Man,
really?
My brother growing up had all those old Playmate Star Wars toys, 5-point cards.
Basically, the 5 points fucking Star Trek figures. They're doing those
shit ton of accessories.
And the
does that mean they're going to do new ships? Yeah,
they've already
they're going to do what scale they're going to do the ships in.
It's the same as the old ones, like the ones I collect.
Dude, have they like done some press about this?
D
yeah, I can find it. Hold on.
No, yeah, but that's cool, man. That was I remember my brother had all those, and like he kept them in like mint on carton totes. This was like what the early '90s, mid '90s.
I think Anna would. I just think Anna would dig an Enterprise D. She likes that shit. That was her.
They've
that was her
only,
ship, dude.
Let me find it on BBTS.
Especially if that motherfucker, like, I don't even know if it separates and like if you do the saucer section and shit. If it does that, Anna would be that might be something Anna would take out the pack, take out the box.
Yeah, get out and play with it a little bit.
Yeah, man, shit. She might actually play with the damn thing.
Hey, yeah, here it is.
That turtle van looks cool as shit, by the way, Brink. I don't blame you. I would, when I saw it, I was like, fuck, I'm not a turtles collector. God damn it.
You guys see
where to
this?
start.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
So,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Look at that. Hell yeah.
But
comes with the
it's
stand
like-
and oh my god.
the
base
okay,
of it's
the
got-
one
that's cool.
the one thing that's cooler is the stand because it's an articulated stand. Okay, the old
Yeah.
ones are plastic and they have an arm that was really easily broken.
Okay.
This looks way more cartoony than what they had done previously.
Yeah, but that's still cool as shit though. I like it.
Yeah. And
Hell
it is
yeah.
gonna have lights and sounds.
Oh
see.
fuck. Go ahead, man. Just do the
Is that
whole
what
goddamn
that
shebang.
image is showing?
Yep, and it's
How big is that? Oh shit, that's
18
big.
inches
That's cool.
across.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good
And
size.
it's only,
That's a-
and it's only
bigger than one of my
$60.
kids.
yeah, that's nice, man.
It's only
That's
$60.
Yeah,
That's
that's not
a
bad,
good
especially
deal
with
for-
all the
that's a big-
electronics.
Big hunk of junk of plastic too.
It is.
And like the thing is I think they're gonna learn from their mistakes, like Mattel has been with the new Masterverse line. You know, every fucking thing you see from that line is better than the last thing, and I think that's
Hey,
what
that
Playmates
was
gonna do.
that was McFarlane when they kind of started doing their DC stuff, and
Yep.
it's tough, man. That initial perception, people have a hard time getting over that, especially with Playmates. Like, what have they done recently that collectors have been buying?
They've stayed in the Turtles like for a long time, man.
Yeah,
They
but I
have
feel like-
they have a crazy ass Last Ronin coming out. Oh,
Oh,
shit,
really?
what's up, Ralphie?
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
god,
Ralphie,
dude!
what's up, buddy?
Ralphie had me fucking rolling last night. So like,
Boys and
one of
Troll,
my
man.
favorite things that people do that like I just respect is when they just like will absolutely clown themselves like for the sake of a joke. So like I posted that thing in the MPSP group where it was some
Ralphie.
dudes I guess selling us Kickstarter Sentinel on eBay. Or
Oh,
a hazard Sentinel, I
jeez.
should say. And then someone was like, someone was like, bro, I'll suck your dick if you sell it to me for retail. So I posted that picture, and then Ralphie comments underneath it, and he's like, what the fuck, Sam? He's like, putting my shit out there, dude. You told me you'd keep that. So I was sitting there, I was feeding the
Ralphie's
baby,
so
and,
cool,
trying to
dude.
get her to go
Yeah.
to sleep, and I'm just like, just like heaving and laughing, and then it went on for a little bit, and I was like, bro, I didn't even put your name in it. Whatever. Anyways, I'll see you Sunday.
Oh, jeez.
That dude's funny, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
fucking God. He's
There
great,
you go.
dude.
Playmates
okay.
Last
Awesome.
Ronin.
Ooh, yikes.
Yeah.
Nick, you know when like a lot of when people who like get into customizing early on, they think like the solution is to put a heavy black wash on everything.
Yeah. That's what this
is. That's what this is. Like, nope, not on somebody's teeth. You know what I mean? Like, well, something more interesting over there. That goddamn
Yeah.
McFarlane man bat can't wait, man.
Dude, this is what I can't wait for is the Universal Monsters Turtles.
Yeah, dude, I passed on that Boris Karloff mummy, man. I think I might go back and get it for Eli.
Oh, dude. I'm loving this shit.
I think I got those Monsters Turtles pre-ordered.
I definitely do. Even the fucking Leonardo.
Mhm.
Like
They're big.
it says the Hunchback, but then in the same thing it says Igor. So that's what I'm not. That doesn't look like Quasimodo. That looks
I don't
like
know.
you know.
I don't know what that is.
That looks like Igor, like for
Man,
Dr.
yeah,
Frankenstein.
The last thing I know, Playmates did that that Turtles line for that Nickelodeon show.
Yep.
That show was good, man. That show was pretty good.
Wait a sec. Which one?
The one that started in like 2014. It went like 6 or 8 seasons or something like that.
Dude, like where they had like the bandanas that covered their whole heads?
No, that was the one that came out after that. So I'm talking about like the it was like a computer, it was like all computer animated. It wasn't like realistic, but it was
that one was good, man.
That one was really good. I remember I got the first wave of Turtles. They were cool for what they were. Rebel Tech did the Turtles, which are like impossible to find now. I know Jonathan Wayne Davis. I don't know if you guys know him. He's just like he's in the realm sometimes and stuff. He's got this super cool display where it's like the original Playmates Turtles, the SH Figure Arts cartoon ones, the NECA Mirage Turtles, and then those Rebel Tech Nickelodeon Turtles, and it looks super slick.
I'm still rocking with my KO NECA.
Dude, they're great. Well, dude, you're in luck. I mean, they're going back and doing that the Mirage Casey Jones, which I'm gonna buy, and hopefully they put those turtles out again.
Yeah, man.
What's up, bro?
And I got that custom shredder that goes pretty good with them.
Yeah,
I just packed those away, man. It took me like it didn't take me as long as I thought it would to pack away like 7 detals. It was pretty.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Y'all actually packed up that quick. Damn. Not bad.
Now that's why the bubble wraps here is because now I gotta do the fucking Transformers.
Where are you going?
That's where it gets tough. You're trying to pack everything up to make sure it's not going to get fucking broken or anything. And
with the 112 stuff, I was really lucky because they sell these things at Walmart that are like bubble wrap envelopes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was using that for all my Marvel Legends and stuff.
What's
like
up, man?
That. What's up, little dude?
He wants to show you his card.
Who's that?
What is
I
it?
can't read it, buddy. Who is it? I can't read
I
it.
got this for my second grader.
Is it a Pokemon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear God, is he into Pokemon?
Yeah,
my daughter is too, man. It's crazy. She's.
I thought it was like a Chrome baseball card or some shit.
No, he's like found this little plastic box and he thinks he's got it slabbed. He's been like carrying around the house. Well, dude, you're lucky I turned my camera off because Eli just came running around the corner. He's butt ass naked. I was like,
"Hey man,
get out of here!
It's naked time, Dad. What's up, man?" Hell
yeah, Nick. That's I haven't moved in. When I moved the last time, I had way more toys than I do now, and that was not fun, dude.
Yeah.
Well, once I get shit put in the box, I'm like, sell it. Goodbye. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you the biggest mistake that I'm finding that I made was when I moved from the last house to here. I had a bunch of Tidy Cat's fucking yellow tote things that the cat litter comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, those were the perfect things to move Transformers in. I am so pissed off that I fucking threw them all away. Because, dude, they're clean.
Yeah.
All that's in them is clean cat litter.
Right, exactly.
You know,
you can also clean them out if you wanted to, if it bothers you that much. You know, you could. You're right. They would be good. They're good size like containers.
I had like 3 cats at the time, so I was going through it like crazy.
Yeah, that shit's awesome.
But
dude.
And then I would just use the fucking bubble wrap, throw the Transformers in there, dude, because they're not going to get squished like a box.
Yeah.
It's actually perfect.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's a good I've got a bunch of like those bins, big ass bins and shit that I've got a few of them I'll fucking use to pack shit up when I go to move. But
go ahead.
I was gonna say I got one detolf that's full of stuff, and once we get done with all this building and whatnot, I think I'm just gonna do 2 more, and then so I have to really move. You know, I just gotta put things from one part of the house to the other one. I think that'll be it. I'll try to keep it at 3.
I think I have plans for my details, like what I want to display in them now. Like is completely different than like when I first bought them. I first bought them for Transformers because
I remember that.
everybody had details. And I was like,
Details,
okay, details for Transformers. That's the shit to do.
That's going to be the way to do it. But
yeah, man,
they're hard to do for no, they're not hard. They're get risers, and then it's like I always look at it like it's I compare the space of a detail to the just a cover of a comic book. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to fill that vertical space the same way that they would on a comic book cover. So it's like how would a team, like if you had a comic book cover that had the whole team on the cover, what would it look like? And that's kind of how I try to set mine up or keep that in mind.
That's what I'm going to be doing with my details. My details are going to be all dioramas.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only way to me it's going to make sense anymore. Like, my Transformers are going to be on bookshelves because in order for those to have dioramas, that's the skill I need.
Yeah.
You know, I got those 2 cool ass cases I bought from that antique shop, that I had stained up to be the same color as those. And then I got that other 6-foot case I bought off those crackheads that were like doing a fire sale because they were getting kicked out of their house. It's like a 6.5. It's a 6.5 foot tall glass case, man. It's fucking great.
What do you think they had in there?
Dude, I don't know. It was fucking sticky as shit when I washed it out with a hose.
Oh no!
You wouldn't even bring it in your house.
No, dude, I fucking washed that shit out with a hose.
Dude, hey, what if, Russ? Could you imagine Kate comes out of her bedroom in the morning because she hears all this racket? And Nick's just in the living room hosing down this glass case.
What the fuck are you doing? Where did you get that? And it's like, oh, these crackheads. I guess, Kate, you associate with crackheads now.
I made
well, I don't know.
Only when I get a deal.
It takes one to know one.
Only when I get a deal, baby. Only when I get a deal.
Hell yeah, man!
And it was a deal, man. That fucking case is dope, and I got it for $50.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I used to work with this dude Dennis, and he lived in East St. Louis, and he would just come to work. Like when I bartend, and he would just show up with like just the craziest stuff. He wasn't a crackhead, but he just like dealt with them all the time. And he would just like show up with like a box of phone chargers. Like he's funny, man.
Fucking bring just turn your detox on the side and fill them with kitty litter.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Nicky, getting all the solutions, aren't you? I'll tell you what.
I know, right? But no, like I did not have kitty litter in them at the same time as my toys. You know?
I thought you used it as like peanut, like packing peanuts. You know?
Packing, yeah. Packing
like,
the kitty litter.
Guys, don't buy if you buy toys off Nick, transform them over like put a drop cloth down.
Yeah, put a drop cloth down.
This is the continuous rattle of the ground.
Kitty litter.
And hey, there'll be a disclaimer on any toys that I sell that say, if you get a contact high just from touching them, that ain't my fault. You bought them fully known.
Yeah, you always put a disclaimer, like from a non-smoking home, but I did smoke crack around these toys.
That white residue is exactly what you think it is.
Hey, come on, guys! I smoke outside. Come on, I'm not a fucking monster. I did smoke crack around these toys.
It's too funny.
Oh man!
There you go.
Oh jeez, I love it.
I remember I was listening to. I think this might have been on Shattercast or something. This is years ago. I don't remember what podcast it was on, but someone was talking about they looked at an eBay listing, something they had wanted for a really long time. So didn't even look at the pictures. They saw it was in box, pulled the trigger, whatever. They get their shipping notice, and then they're like, "Oh, I do this sometimes. I'll be killing time. I got 10 minutes to kill. I'll go back and look at something I bought already. Look at the pictures of the listing, and the dude had it he took the pictures on his lap of the box, but he was just his bare legs. I guess he was just in his underwear.
So he just put it in his lap, and
he's just sitting here He's got his phone. He's like just in his tidy whities.
He's in his tidy whities taking pictures.
Dude, people are crazy,
wild,
dude. Like
man.
you can't even imagine like just the stuff
Like,
people do. They just like, don't even think it's a big deal. Like,
I've heard
what?
the stories about like people putting shit on their unmade dirty bed and shit, and taking pictures.
That's like almost a cliche at this point. But God, if you don't see it all the time.
That makes me laugh.
You
I
know?
don't know. It's kind of funny. Oh man.
Yeah, that one you get that all the time.
I'm just gonna take my shit outside and set it in the grass and take a picture. Just take it outside.
Play with
right in the bright green grass.
Yeah, man, but the bright green grass.
Yo, Russ, did you watch WrestleMania?
I did watch WrestleMania both nights. I will tell you this.
Did you watch any of it, Sam?
Did you watch WrestleMania, Sam?
No, I watched Gable Stevenson on there, but I kind of just read about it a little bit.
My favorite night was night one. So I knew people were, and I had some people getting on my ass because they thought night two was better, and I said, "You're crazy." I thought night one was so cool. It was, I don't know. I had a good time watching it. My favorite match of night one was the Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes match. I thought those two looked amazing together. Cody Rhodes got all fucked up. It was great. He had this little, it's like it was like a bump above his eye, man. It like he got nailed hard. I mean, he got trashed. His back was all fucked up.
He got hard weighed somewhere.
Yeah, man. But it was a good match, and I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was cool. And Seth Rollins is a fucking awesome. That dude's a pro, man.
Dude, I like Seth Rollins. I've never been a Seth Rollins fan until he started with this shit with the Drip Master.
Oh, yeah, he's much better now, isn't he? This is the best Seth Rollins has ever been. He's great, man. That crazy laugh, the sinister laugh, wonderful.
So what was Seth and Cody first?
No, that was later on.
All right, so what was first?
Shit, I can't remember what first was now. Because they had a match on they had the Andre the Giant tournament. I think that was on the pre-show. I think the Andre the Giant tournament, but the Battle Royal. I think that was the pre-show, though. I think.
All right,
and I want to say there was a tag team title match or something that started it off. I think I thought maybe it was. I don't know. I'm trying to remember who was first. God damn it. I can't remember.
Here we go. I'm looking it up.
What are you doing? Don't fall off, babe. My fucking cat is losing his goddamn mind. You're gonna fall, you little shit.
All right, so the first one was Shinsuke and Boog versus the Usos.
And he really got hurt, by the way. Boog's really got fucked up. He tore a muscle pretty bad. We thought it was a knee injury at first, but it turns out it wasn't a knee. It was I think it was his what's that muscle down here on your calf, I guess, the lower calf or upper calf. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
And I failed anatomy. So
wait, like his lower leg.
Yeah, his lower leg. He tore something.
That'd be his calf, dude. Yeah, that's
calf.
One, man.
But they gave it like the particular muscle he tore. That was like a certain. I don't remember what they said, but that sucked because
it just said he injured his knee on Wikipedia.
Okay, they were. Maybe it was part of his knee. I don't know, but
who knows?
But he got really fucked up, which really sucked. But that was an okay match. That wasn't too bad.
That was all right.
It was all right. It's the Usos.
Yeah.
What do you want? But
I like the Usos, but this match was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was probably to me it was a weak start for the night, in my opinion. Yeah. But shit picked up a little bit later on, but it just weak for the first match.
So the next one was McIntyre and Corbin,
which was another one that was okay. I liked it. It was all right. Just because everyone wanted to see Corbin get his, I guess, and That was kind of funny. He did. There was a cool thing where he chopped the ropes with the sword.
I saw that.
And I
thought that was corny as fuck.
Anna,
Is that real? Did
Anna-
they like have to go put it back together after that? Like,
yeah, they had to put ropes, move ropes. Like Anna swears up and down. She said, "Russ, there was a spot pre-cut in them ropes."
Oh yeah,
she don't think that
definitely.
sword was sorry for us to go through them like that.
Oh, dude! While we were watching this, when Jason was doing the hangout with it,
Yeah.
dude, I was calling when some of the matches were going home because I saw the wrestlers call them.
like I'm beat, man.
Yeah.
That's
So
funny, dude.
it was McIntyre and Corbin. They did the sword through the ring spot.
Yeah.
through the fucking rope spot.
It was
Which conveniently they went right to commercial with. Yeah.
right to where they started shooting. Yeah. Just
Third match.
Go ahead.
Rey Mysterio and Dominic versus The Miz and Logan Paul.
Now, to me, the only part of that match I liked was the end. After the match, actually. I The Miz is the greatest. I don't know if he's the greatest, but I can tell you he's one of the greatest heels ever, right?
The Miz
my God.
Man.
He's so heel, he turned on his own partner after they won the match. I mean, that's cool as shit, dude. And beat his own partner's ass just so he could get all the shine. I loved it. I thought it was great. He's that guy that I really would like to kick his teeth in. That's how much I like him.
I think big box office is Miz and MJF. Because everybody would watch that because they want to see somebody. They just want to see them beat the shit out of each other.
And I said that once before. I said, to me, the closest WWE has to MJF would be The Miz. And I actually like MJF better than The Miz. As far as for being a motherfucker that you just want to see get punched in the face. Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah.
MJF is great, though. Oh, man, the shit he says. Oh, man. Like, he gets personal with professional. He'll get personal, man. Hardcore. Oh, it's badass. He's great, man.
Fourth match.
Mm-hmm.
Becky and Bianca.
Okay. This is the one that I think they were shorted on time in this match. And here's why I say this is because I if you noticed, as that match went on, both of them just started not selling very well at all.
Yeah.
They were having shit done to them and then recovering really quick, like nothing happened. And I think that they,
for this.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, dude, we got to believe that you really got suplexed, and you got right back. You're pretty much right back on the offensive. So I think that this match I think they were short of time, and I think they fucked the match up in my opinion because they were trying to get everything in that they had planned. And there was no time to sell, no time to tell the story, no time to let us, Anna was really mad because Anna loves Becky Lynch, dude. And Anna was fucking hot. She was like, fuck that bitch, Bianca Belair. I was rolling, dude. I was like, Bianca's cool, man.
I think this is Becky Lynch's best run right here, now.
I think so. I think it is.
Like,
the man was great, but this is better. In my opinion.
Big time Bex, on the mic, she's been the best she's ever been the past month.
She's one of the best in the business right now on the mic. That chick kills it, man. I love it.
Becky Lynch, I believe, is the first female wrestler that I've seen that I put on tap with the males.
Yeah. She's like, you will tune in to see a match with her in it. And you'll tune in to see her on the mic. Whereas I feel like a lot of other female wrestlers, they don't get that. I mean, unless you're really into pro wrestling, like I am. I like the women a lot, so I pay more. But not everyone does, and Becky will get the attention. So she's good, and I had to tell Anna to calm her down. I said, well, maybe Becky's going to take some time off to spend with her kid. It's okay. She's going to drop the belt. It's all right. And Anna calmed down after that. She'll get a relaxer, appeal to the mother,
But yeah, I really enjoy Becky right now,
Yeah.
and
Me too.
yeah, I can't wait
I
to see
kind of
what's
like
next.
that I like that they had her drop the belt now when I think about it in hindsight, because what's going to be more fun is Becky chasing after her ass for the belt. That's what I think is going to be
Yeah.
more fun. And I think Becky is going to be just, she's going to go Bianca into something. You'll see her talking all kinds of major shit. It's going to be great, man. It's going to be a good time. Good back and forth.
All right. Next, Seth Rollins and Cody.
Match of the night. Maybe one of the best of WrestleMania. I don't know. I thought it was really good. Except that it was the worst kept secret.
Yeah, it was the worst kept secret in the world. But like the thing that made me mark out in this match was when Cody did the fucking bionic elbow, the Dusty punches. Yeah,
yes.
That's
like,
what that's what made this match of the night for me.
Oh, he pulled. It's like it was like he got possessed by his dad. It was great. Even in the roll shit, you know. Oh man, it was cool. It was so goddamn awesome. Yeah, and I thought Seth did a good job as well. Seth really.
All right, so I definitely think this is the match of night one at least.
Definitely.
The next match I think is the worst match on the entire card of WrestleMania.
Which one?
Charlotte and fucking Ronda.
Yeah, it was.
It was
hard.
Messy.
It's hard for me because to me, Ronda's always messy when she's in the ring. In my opinion, I don't think she's.
I was gonna ask who do you blame that on? But it's like if it's one of them, then it's like ends up being both of them.
Yeah. Sometimes I think though, and I'm not trying to give Ronda a pass here or an excuse, but what I'm going to say is, I think Ronda's style is to look messy. Because I think Ronda is going for it, trying to look real as shit.
Yeah.
And real fighting is messy. Real fighting is not.
Well, even when she was doing real fighting, she looked way messier than everybody.
Oh yeah,
else, you know
absolutely.
What I mean? Like, when she couldn't throw hands, dude.
No,
she's always bad on her feet. Like,
but like I remember Charlotte botching.
I do remember Charlotte botching. Charlotte did, Charlotte's not perfect either. Charlotte has had her issues.
And that's the thing is like most people tell me that Charlotte is like the women's wrestler of the moment right now.
Okay,
she is
good,
the best.
But even the best has an off night, and I think this might have that match. Charlotte did have a couple of moments where I felt like she could have done. She dropped the ball. I agree with that.
All right, so people, like I said, people tell me that Charlotte Flair is the best women's professional wrestler in the world right now.
Okay, but what are they going by? Are they just about in ring? Or
I don't know.
All around, because
I don't know, because when I look at a professional wrestler, I don't look at just in ring. I look.
Neither do I. I'm just like you. I don't either.
So like my question to those people is she as good as Becky is right now on the mic?
Now, see, I don't think she is. I think
is she as good in the ring as Becky is right now?
Now that's where it's a lot closer for me. I think she's really good in the ring, but Becky is goddamn. And Becky botches. Becky's had botches too. She had botches, couple botches in that. Did you see Bianca Belair's black eye? That was a botch, right?
Yeah.
But her botches seem to be not stick out as much, and they kind of become like part of the match. I don't know how to explain it. It's I don't know. Where Charlotte's botches to me stick out like a sore thumb, dude. Like you see them and you go, "Oh, she fucked that up," you know.
Yeah.
It's rough,
and like I don't like Charlotte Flair at all.
You see, Anna and you have that in common, because Anna doesn't like Charlotte Flair either, and I like her because I think she's a good heel. I think that bitch is hateable. You know what I mean?
She definitely is hateable.
She's hateable, and she does everything in her power to be hateable, and she's great at it. And is she as good as her dad was? I don't know. I think Ric Flair is a better heel than his daughter. You know, I mean, But
Oh my god.
and you know, will Charlotte ever? Yeah. They're. I would
Fuck
argue they're
Charlotte.
pretty hot. Except for Charlotte. Charlotte looks like her dad too much, though. That's the
Charlotte-
only problem with Charlotte, dude.
Yo,
It's creepy.
fucking you guys remember Mrs. Swan on Mad TV?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Charlotte Flair is to me. She
So Russ is saying if you think
looks
Charlotte
like a
Flair is
man.
hot, you think Ric Flair's hot too.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, she's got a nice body. She's got a very
Dude, she's
athletic
got boy
body.
hips.
Ric Flair, man.
But that's because she's an athlete, dude. She's just an
Dude,
athletic girl.
her hips go straight down like a
It's
fucking
'cause she's an
board.
athletic freak, dude. She's an athlete.
Look at fucking Becky's
she's
got
thick.
a womanly body.
No, yeah, but Becky's not thick like Charlotte is. Charlotte's thick and she's muscular as shit. Becky's more leaner but muscular. It's just a different build. That's all. Charlotte's taller than Becky. Charlotte's got a taller body.
His preferences, man.
She's got a bigger frame.
Becky got the bigger booty.
Now, if you ask me which one I think is better looking, Becky's better looking by far.
Thank you.
Nick, we're flying on the same flight, man.
Yeah,
right.
Becky's hot, dude. She's hot. I mean,
all right.
And I've seen them both without makeup. Becky looks better without makeup than Charlotte does. That's it.
I don't even worry about that, man. You know, I've always said this for me with
bitches, you would worry about
my thing with like I got the same rule with girls that I do with pizza. It's the more the better. The more there is, the better, man.
All right, so next.
Funny, dude. Oh god.
Next, you mother chuckers. KO versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Dude, this was wild to read about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
how'd he look?
You look damn good, son.
For someone who hasn't had a match of any kind in like 19 years, okay? I mean, the only action he's had over 19 years is to come down and drop a stoner on people periodically, okay?
Yeah, he doesn't need his knees to do that.
He actually, I was shocked at what he was. He even took a suplex outside on the concrete in with the people, which shocked the shit. And by the way, kudos to Kevin Owens, a pro. He protected Stone Cold big time on that. His arm stayed under Stone Cold's neck, so the Stone Cold's neck landed on Kevin Owens' arm like it should. A lot of people, when they do suplexes, it doesn't always stay where it should. He made sure he definitely protected him.
And I've watched a few episodes of that. I guess like what is a podcast that Stone Cold does, like, and he's like obviously like stayed in good shape.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he looks great, like even on that. So like I'm not surprised to hear that he looked good and did well and everything.
The stamina was what I was worried about, and I'll be damned if that old motherfucker didn't keep it going. I was shocked. And then the best thing was he's drinking beer periodically and showing the can because it's his beer. My son was laughing. He was like, "Oh my god, product placement galore!" And I said, "Pro wrestling's always product placement.
Yeah,
it's always product placement."
Wait, he has his own beer. What type of beer is it? Is this, I think it's like a lager.
I think it's a lager.
Yeah, I'd say it's got to be something that you can drink 20 of in one night. You know,
my favorite part of this.
It's my own beer.
If you're gonna call it I guess we call it. I guess it was a match technically, right? If you're gonna. So my favorite part, they get up to the top of the fucking. Kevin Owens gets on the 4-wheeler. Stone Cold's 4-wheeler. He's gonna take off and leave. Stone comes, hits him. He gets on the 4-wheeler behind Kevin Owens. They take off up the ramp on the 4-wheeler. Okay, they get off. He takes him over to this side of the ramp of the stage up there. He suplexes him. I didn't think Stone Cold could get KO's big ass up like that. KO helped him. He definitely helped him. But that's a big motherfucker to get up, and Stone Cold did it, right?
Yeah. Man,
then he takes him over to the other side. The second one was good, but it was a little bit more of a struggle.
He makes an IPA as well. What?
Yeah.
Dude, gross.
Like, it was nice.
Imagine drinking 20 of those in one night.
To see Stone Cold actually do some wrestling
Vinny probably
moves
did it. Never mind.
And still look crisp enough and strong enough to do it. And now this is toward the end of the match, by the way. He's already been through a bunch of other shit already. He looked good, man. I was impressed. I really was. I was shocked and impressed. So,
freaking Vinny just sent a picture in chat. He's drinking one of those right now.
Vinny's drinking one of my IPAs right now.
It's El Segundo Brewing Company Broken Skull IPA. Vinny, send another pic when you have 20 of those cans crushed.
Anna was looking it up, and it's expensive as shit. Anna was, I love you. Anna was cracking me up. See, I love you, Stone Cold.
Well, hey man,
And I'm
hey, money's no option when you're trying to get blacked out, dude.
you're trying to
Come
get
on, man.
Eric Bischoff has a beer too. It's supposed
but I
to
can
be
get
really
blacked
good.
out a lot cheaper, Sam.
Yeah.
Hey, same, bro. I'm doing it right now, baby. Ooh.
But all in all, after the Cody and Seth Rollins match, this was my favorite thing of the night. I don't,
Yeah.
I hesitate to call it a match. This is like a big fucking fight, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
it was a brawl.
It was a brawl, and
It was a brawl, and that's what it needed to be, so that Stone Cold could look good. And
By the
they
way,
both
Stone
did
Cold-
a great job.
they did. And Stone Cold took a stunner.
That's right.
He took his own finishing move, and then kicked out of it, which of course he was going to, because it's a pay-per-view and it's WrestleMania. Everybody kicks out of finishers. So that happens. So-
Yeah.
And then he dropped the stunner on KO, and KO was out, right? It was beautiful. I loved it. What a fun night, man.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. I said that's what made that one the best night. I mean, it just had the better stuff, It was
I don't know. I might disagree with you, especially looking
I don't
at
know.
stuff on night 2.
Well, night 2, no, I'm not saying night 2 was bad. It was good. I just preferred night 1.
Yeah.
I enjoyed.
I'll be able to
night
tell
1.
you after we go through night 2.
All right, let's go through night 2 then.
Yeah. Triple H
Okay.
kicked off the show, left his
Which
boots
was
in
really-
the ring. That was
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
what it
cool,
was.
man. That's cool.
That was cool,
Yeah.
and that was it was a little emotional because like that dude has been kind of like my favorite wrestler of all time is Shawn Michaels, okay? And Triple H and Shawn Michaels have run together for a while. And Shawn Michaels, to me, had his best career in the second part of his career after he'd taken some time off, and he came back in the early 2000s. And Triple H and him had a really good back and forth, really good fight with each other about, and it was good. And him and Triple H did some good work together. And then they reformed DX in 2006, and that was fun all over again, right? And it was good.
Mhm.
And Triple H has been along for the ride, and Triple H is also, he had his own group that he started, Evolution. They were cool. That was pretty awesome. And it's just, I think sometimes Triple H gets overlooked for how good he is. And
Yeah,
how
well,
awesome
it's
he
like
was.
he's just kind of been like a staple for since like the
Yeah.
mid 90s almost, like 90
Oh yeah,
97, 98. Like that's
Yeah.
when I
Like-
first can recall.
his career got derailed because of the Click incident and Madison Square
I
Garden.
kind of wanted to talk about the Click
know.
and Triple H too. Real quick.
Well, go ahead. You say your thing.
Fucking, you got to think about it this way. Triple
Mhm.
H might have been the 4th best wrestler in the Click.
I give it that.
Because I'll give you Shawn Michaels number 1,
Yep.
Scott Hall 2,
Mm-hmm.
Kid 3,
Mm-hmm.
Triple H 4,
Yep.
Nash 5.
As long as you didn't put Nash over Triple H, we were okay.
Nash is my favorite wrestler, but
I'm not hating on
I
him.
can tell you that Triple H is better than him in the ring.
Mhm. I'm not hating on him. I love Kevin Nash. He's awesome for what he was and what he is, But Triple H,
I'll tell you, in ring, Kevin Nash is top 5 big man of all time.
I would agree with that. I agree with that. He's amazing. He had a. I loved it because I just like seeing big motherfucker do the kind of shit he was doing.
Dude,
But-
he moved. He moved.
Yeah, he
that
did.
ring. And
He did really
everything
well.
he did counted. I like Kevin Nash was the Jake the Snake Roberts of big men.
There you go. That's not bad. That's not a bad analogy of it, actually, because of the way he moved and he was smooth with his movements and.
Yeah.
But that Click
but like that
incident-
just tells you yeah,
Mhm.
like the curtain call
Yeah,
derailed Triple H's career.
Yeah, he took Kevin Nash and Scott Hall left for WCW. So did the Kid. He bolted too.
Yeah.
He was gone. Shawn Michaels was the man. He wasn't going to get punished at all. So Triple H is the one that bared all the punishment of that, and they put his ass down in like mid card, and lower card hell for a while.
He got
was stuck
jobbed
down
to the Warrior.
They did. They had him jobbed to the Ultimate Warrior.
He was
Think about
supposed to
that.
win King of the
Oh,
Ring the year that Austin did.
yes, he was, and he didn't, and they got they not him. You're gone. There, you're out.
Yeah.
They made him.
So
They held his
so
career
like
back years.
that could have been Triple H in WrestleMania 14 with Tyson
It
against
could have.
fucking Shawn Michaels.
It could have been.
I forgot that happened.
Yep.
It could have been. What got Triple H out of hell, out of like purgatory, was Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
They, Shawn's the one that they wanted to run something together. They started running stuff together. They went to Vince. Things were going well. They had the idea for DX.
Well,
and Hunter,
what really got him out was when Shawn got injured, and
that's true.
He had to, pull the main spot in DX. That's when
Right.
Triple H's career turned.
Exactly, because that's when Triple H, but Triple H got to be like the front man,
Yeah,
instead of the sidekick, which was. But what I would say is I think because of the time he spent with Shawn Michaels early on, it made Vince. I think it made Vince feel confident, and he basically he was given the opportunity and he ran with it, and that's awesome. That's what he should do. And Triple H was amazing. He had that guy's beating everybody. By the way, everybody. Yeah. He's got wins over all of the big dogs: Goldberg, Scott Steiner. Big Papa Pump when he was really a badass. Triple H beat him. He beat them all. He beat The Rock. He's beat Stone Cold. He's got wins over everybody. He's the man, Yeah. So anyway, enough of that.
Yeah, let's get back to Mania so we can get through Mania, because we still got a whole discussion and we're only at the first match of night 2, which was RK Bro versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. Besides RK Bro winning, the only thing that entertained me about this match was fucking Otis.
Okay, what
Otis
part
is just hilarious to watch. Just like everybody doing their fucking shit off the top rope and just fucking Otis walking through it. It's hilarious. What's up, Walt?
You been doing a drop kick off the top. Hey, what's up, Walt? You doing a drop kick off the top rope, and Otis just stands there. He is so out of place amongst all these high flyers and all these guys that can do all this stuff. I mean, and Randy Orton, not necessarily known for his rope work or nothing like that. Oh, is he? But Randy Orton is a mover in the ring, so smooth. And Otis just looks like he's just big. Dun, 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 dun. He's like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man of professional wrestling. Hello. And don't get me wrong, I like him. I like him being kind of a bad guy a little bit. It gives him a little bit of edge. It's better than what he was. I hated that shit that he was with his former partner and stuff. I didn't like that, man. It was
Heavy Machinery or whatever.
Yeah. Heavy Machinery. This is a better version of Otis. He's a little bit comical sometimes because he doesn't say much, but when he does say something, it's kind of funny. He's like, But yeah, I agree with you. I had a good time with this match just because I like Riddle. Riddle's one of my favorite.
Next was something that was better than it had any right to be, and that was Lashley versus Omos.
Yep, it was, and I don't like that big motherfucker. I don't like him. I think he's crappy and thing. I think he's clumsy and stupid. All he can do is grab you by the head and throw you around. I just don't think he's worth anything, right? But you know what? He took some bumps in this match he actually took some bumps in this. I was impressed. I was like, oh, that big bitch went down. That's good. So it was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. Because I thought it was gonna be a one-man wrestling match basically. And but he did okay,
I'm pulling the results up on CBS WWE's page, and they graded that match a B-. I could say that it was a solid C.
Yeah. I would say, man, I'd give it C plus maybe. I could go with C plus B-. I don't know about a B. See, B has got to be a better match than that. If you could put it in the B.
Now next was something I enjoyed a lot, and is one of the reasons why I'm wondering if night 2 was better. Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville.
That was the most craziest, silliest shit. It made me laugh
It
so
was
fucking
so
hard.
fun.
It was I that might have been, I tell you what, it was the funnest match of all of WrestleMania. Like
Yeah.
and that's a terrible way to use funnest. I know. Come on, teacher, correct me.
Most
Anyway, the most fun, right?
Yo.
Most fun.
Body
oh,
slam Sami Zayn.
Yes, right? He got his ass up. I said, look at that little motherfucker, man. He got him up.
That's right. Those guys are old now, man. They're like pushing 50. You know?
Dude,
yeah, Anna.
And then
Anna
fucking Wee Man took a hell of a kick.
She kept correcting me. I kept looking, look at that little midget.
Oh, yeah. It was
she's
Jesus
like,
Christ.
Russell, you don't call him that.
Little person.
I said, I didn't. So then I called him a dwarf, and she got mad at me too. And I made RJ laugh because I started going, hi ho, hi ho. Oh my god, funny dude, Jesus.
Yeah, thank you for the banner.
Well, I mean, I
Get it up.
I can't help it. That's what I called him. I know he's
Yeah, look, did you hear what he just? I can't help it. That's what I call them.
That's what I called him. I said it just slipped. It slipped out. He's okay, little person,
monster ever.
I'm sure that there's a support group for people.
I'm sure Wee Man doesn't mind
that Russ is offended.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
look, your internet is fucking up because you're being an ass.
even fucking Spectrum's like, Jesus Christ, this guy, like, get him off.
All right, the next up was the women's tag team championship match: Carmella and Queen Zelina versus Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Liv for Brutality, which is Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley versus Natalya and Shayna Baszler. Less said about this shit was the better. Sasha and Naomi won. That was the second worst match at WrestleMania for
how predictable. First of all, how predictable was it? It was extreme. I mean, if you went in that didn't know who was going to win that match, come on, man.
Yeah,
of course they were going to have Sasha and Naomi win. It was so trash. It was trash, dude.
Now. Yeah, see, Russ, I'm starting to disagree with you about night one again. AJ Styles versus Edge.
That was okay. I liked it. It was all right. The only thing I didn't like is I didn't like the dumb shit at the end, man. I don't know.
With Damian Priest?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I know he's forming a group. I know he's forming a stable. I know he, and I get it. And Damian Priest is his first acolyte, I guess, his first guy, you know. And Damian Priest, I like Damian Priest, and I'm hoping that they don't relegate him to like Edge's bitch boy, because like I like him a lot, and I don't want him to be like just Edge's sidekick, because he's a good fucking wrestler, man. I loved him in NXT. I'm worried they're gonna waste him.
I liked him in fucking Ring of Honor when he was Punishment Martinez.
Yes. But I mean, I've seen some stuff of him in Ring of Honor, but I didn't really start paying attention to him until NXT. So, and I just thought he was good, and I was, I don't want to see him wasted. That's all.
But next is
good match.
Next was a fucking piece of shit match. I thought. Fucking New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge. Ew.
To me, it was about as close to a squash match, in my opinion. Nick, let me ask you: do you think they were getting like long on time on this? Do you get the feeling that this match was short on purpose?
I don't know, man. I don't think this had to be a WrestleMania match.
I think it was terrible how they disrespected the New Day like that. I think it's dreadful. Yeah. They basically. It was about it was a squash match. I mean, they barely got any offense in. They just had those guys kill them, man. It was unbelievable. It was so quick. Did it even last 10 minutes? Not even 10 minutes, was it?
I don't even know.
From the time they rang the bell, I don't think it was even 10 minutes, man. I don't think it was. It was shit.
And then they beat the New Day down at the end. It was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was.
Then
I don't know.
we get to McAfee and Theory. Pat McAfee did just as good as Bad Bunny did last year.
I think so. He look like he was having the time of his life, by the way. Did you see the little
Yeah.
smiles on his face all through it? He's having a good time, dude. Good for him, man. He's living a
So
dream, man.
I thought that was pretty good. And then
Yep.
next, I liked even better. Pat McAfee versus Vince McMahon.
Yes. So Vince started
Our
after
Vince
Pat
McMahon
McAfee.
look, man.
Dude,
Well,
McMahon
believe it or
was a
not,
beast.
he's still pretty built for an old fucking geezer. I was shocked.
He's roided out still.
It's almost creepy to see this old man with a body like that. It's
Mhm.
He
creepy
was in
as
better
shit.
shape than McAfee.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, easily. He looked more.
Dude,
I mean,
Vince
dude, he
is cut like a mug.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Vince beat McAfee because of Theory beat
Austin
him and
Theory
shit.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
And then fucking Stone Cold comes out, stuns McMahon,
Stuns Theory.
stuns Theory,
Stuns
has
McMahon.
a beer with McAfee,
Yeah.
and stuns
Yeah.
McAfee.
By the way, the worst looking stunner ever in history had WrestleMania that night. Well, there might have been some worse ones, maybe I don't remember them all. But he dropped the stunner on Vince McMahon, and Vince didn't do it, so it looked terrible. Anna thinks it's because he was trying not to hurt Vince, so she thinks that Vince kind of went, and Vince's legs they crumpled underneath of him.
Yeah, I was worried that fucking Vince threw his quads again.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right,
That's funny.
so after all that shit was Lesnar and Reigns. And you want to talk
This
about
was-
predictable?
Yeah, I know,
Everybody
but you
knew
know
that
what?
fucking Reigns was gonna win.
But you know what? I mean, does anyone have you heard anything? Is Lesnar coming back anytime soon?
I don't know.
Or is this the
What
end of
was
this? You know,
It might be the end of this run, but fucking wait, no, he's gonna be back for WrestleMania Revenge, isn't he?
oh, is he? Oh, maybe he is. Okay, that's good. Okay, maybe he is.
But
Okay.
what was the news on fucking Reigns' arm?
Well, apparently they said it was hurt, but he looked like he was okay to me. I mean, he was lifting
that's
the
what I
belt up and
thought.
shit. So I haven't heard anything, but you know,
But
I
yeah,
don't know, allegedly.
all right. So you think night one was better than night two?
I do. I like night one better than night two, but I mean, that's not me saying the night two was
Yeah.
bad. I like night two. I like lots of stuff in night two. It's just I enjoyed night one better. You know, but there were some things I could complain about with night one as well. I this was the first WrestleMania though in a while where I actually think I liked the majority of it though.
Yeah,
I really, which is something I'm not used to for a few years. It's been a while since I've had a WrestleMania that I've actually could say, it was fun. I had a good time. You know? I mean, that's that's an uncharted territory for a while now. But it was. I could see
this
why
was
you
like
would say.
it was a fair to Midland WrestleMania altogether.
I can say that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not one of the worst. It's not one of the best. It was there. It was a WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was in the middle, and which is better than to me what they've done over the past couple of years. So now I know people will say, "Well, it's been COVID." Yeah. I know, but I still think
Yeah.
What was it? Wait, did you hear what? Who retired?
Manu Bowl.
What? The new Bolt?
It's a Walt is stuck in the '90s joke.
That's what he meant. Okay, I didn't know he was picking on Walt. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck he's talking about. Jesus Christ.
So there's our WrestleMania rundown. Now we had a discussion planned. You guys ready for this?
Let's see. This is going to be fun.
I forget.
This is going to stir up some issues.
Yeah. I forget what exactly stirred this up. That we were talking about trilogies for some reason. And there's trilogies in books, there's trilogies in comics, there's trilogies in everything. But I think movies really, that's where the structure of a trilogy takes off.
Sure.
That's like the thing people talk about the most.
Yeah.
Like it's like the definitive move, you know.
No.
Yeah.
So like I wanted to talk about like what makes a good trilogy, what makes a bad trilogy, and maybe some of our favorite trilogies, and then also like trilogies as a structure, and is it should movies be done like that now, because it seems like everything is made for that three arc structure where, like, you know, sometimes a one and done story is good.
Even
true. That's true.
within like the MCU, like you have within that a Cap and Iron Man and the Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah.
You know, where they kind of tell an arc in those three movies that span so many years, and so many other movies kind of jutted into them.
But like those are
Absolutely.
the three, like, you know, the Avengers stuff is like a trilogy of its own, but like then you have, like you said, the Spider-Man trilogy and all that stuff, and it's all interconnected, and it's different.
Like into the larger work of
No, it
like
is.
Yeah.
Like I look at Iron Man 1, 2, and 3 as a trilogy of movies for Iron Man versus.
Right.
And now I know they're connected. I know they're connected to and they're in the MCU. I get it, but that is a three. Those three movies to me are his three movies. They're his movie, you know?
Yeah.
And that's you know, and the same thing with Captain America, and which is weird about Captain America because Captain America: Civil War to me was an Avengers movie, but it's Captain America though.
Yeah,
so
I kind of like put it in with that, Russ, just because it deals with him and Bucky.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because
exactly.
that's the thing that all those three movies had. And with those ones, you know, I think the second one's the best one.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like you could do that with all of them. Like,
I
still feel like first Iron Man's the best one to me still.
Good movie, dude.
It's that origin.
Good movie.
I think in trilogies and movies that, like, in a majority of them, the second movie is mostly the more well-regarded movie in the trilogy.
You definitely say that for Star Wars original trilogy, Dark Knight trilogy for sure. Maybe Lord of the Rings. That's my favorite one. Is the second one.
I like Return of the King, but that's just me. I tend to like the last one.
I do too. I like it too, but it's like if I was gonna pick one, you know what I mean, like one to watch. That's the one that of the three I rewatch the most. And I think that's just kind of a case of like, once you get people used to the world, used to the characters, then you can really hit the ground running, you know?
And I think, like, if you have a bad second movie in a trilogy, it's harder to recover from.
Yeah. Even if it makes a little bit of money, enough money to get the third one, it's like, man, who cares, you know? And
I think the one thing that I can think of that's an exception to that is the prequel trilogy, because I think the third one is the best one out of those, and I think the second is the worst. And
see, we've disagreed on this before. I like Attack of the Clones better than the Revenge of the Sith, but people seem to not understand why I like it so much. The reason why I say it's the best is because I feel like we got to see Anakin and like where he's not a Jedi yet. He's still a young Padawan, and we get to see Anakin. Now, was he a whiny little bitch? Is he a little creepy? Where he stares at fucking, you know, I know he is. He's an awkward teenager.
I mean, I stared at her too when I was watching the movie.
Sure. She's a piece of fucking ass. Yeah. Of course he looked at her. But I mean, I feel like he was, you could just see, and that was also the movie where we got to see him really, here we go, where we get to see him lose his shit for the first time.
Yeah,
his mother died, and we got to see
that's
him
the thing,
murder fucking spree.
Like, you know, they
but
warned about that in the first movie, and then you saw it in the second.
That's his first. That's his first Sith moment.
I could watch Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith and be happy that Attack of the Clones never existed.
See, not me, because Attack of the Clones had very important things in it. First of all, the clones.
And I agree with them. I agree with both you guys, because like Attack of the Clones does, fill that void, but I do feel like that one gets bogged down with like connecting A to C, I guess. Whereas
but
I think Revenge of the
yeah.
Sith really benefits with that time jumping. But I do feel like all the stuff in Attack of the Clones from connecting the dots feels supernatural, which like I know I'll get this at some point, but like to me, what makes a good trilogy is what you got with the prequel trilogy, where they knew where they were starting, they knew where they were ending, they knew they had 3 movies. So they got to do what they wanted to do. So it really makes and it was like and that's in my list, you know, just because like George Lucas, like he knew he had 3 movies, like he knew he could take his time, he could have Phantom Menace kind of be this goofy movie that to a lot of people at the time didn't feel like Star Wars, you know, but he said, no, I'll get you there, just wait, you know, get on board with me. And and I think that's what makes a good trilogy, is just that cohesion with it. The same director, the same writing, even if it was kind of bad at points, like it was at least consistent through the 3 movies.
And then
that's uncommon.
I think you can contrast that with the sequel trilogy as to showing what
you can
a less successful trilogy looks like.
Dude, and that's a perfect example, and it's cool because like you can illustrate that with 2 Star Wars trilogies without even mentioning the original trilogy, which at the time wasn't planned to be a trilogy. I think George Lucas put everything into that first movie. And,
he didn't even know if he was going to get another movie or not.
And you've seen trilogies that where a similar thing happened. The Matrix is a good example, where they put everything in that first Matrix movie, and it was great, you know, because of that. And then when they got the opportunity to make 2 more, it kind of fell off. Where Star Wars, the original trilogy, didn't.
To me, like I like the full Matrix trilogy, but I'm that weirdo.
I do too. I think there's just I don't know, fall off. That's not what I want to say, but just like a difference between the first one and the second ones. I feel like I like the smaller world of the first one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
But like going back to like showing what a bad trilogy to me is having something so schizophrenic like the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, and it's like, how do you? Because I could understand saying, okay, so we want these directors to come in, we want their vision, we want them to write the dialogue and everything, even if that, but like to not have an outline to go from, like, what are you even doing? You know, because I know like. Or go ahead.
And then like the complete tonal shift between 7 and 8.
Yeah, and it's like even like I can even forgive some of that, like if there's like some purpose to it, you know, and like okay, we know where we're ending up, and it's like, Nick, you know, like we've talked before, like if those 9 movies are about dealing with, you know, the most powerful, most evil Sith Lord of all time, sign me the fuck up. Because again, that can be the through line through all those movies. But it was just so clear and evident that in episode 9, in developing that, they said, okay, we need to get some people back.
Yeah.
So let's shoehorn him into this. We're gonna introduce his return in the fucking opening crawl. You know what I mean? And you have Poe Dameron in that movie literally says somehow Palpatine's return because he didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just it's so ridiculous, and it's like to not have any.
But and like the crazy thing about it is, okay, so we're talking about the tone differences in 7 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
7 and 9 don't feel like they're fucking directed by the same person telling
and they literally are, you know, and I think it's because they just went. I feel like 7 started on a path, and 8 went like this, pew, on a different path. But I feel like that's what happened with A New Hope and An Empire Strikes Back, where.
But Empire Strikes Back is such a superior movie to 8, though. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. But then, Empire Strikes Back veered back from the path to tie everything together from the first movie through the sequel into a third movie into an ending that felt like it meant something. in the sequel trilogies wasn't able to do that. I think they just kept going like this. They went.
Gort says his favorites are Indy or Back to the Future.
Yeah, those are classic. People love them, And I think with the sequels, they went. What was the first one even called? Force Awakens, and they veered off. Last Jedi, and then they just went. Rise of Skywalker.
It felt like Last Jedi was made as like the end, what he felt the end should have been.
Dude, and it feels like that way.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah.
Which is like, this is like, okay, I'm good with this. But then after seeing Rise of Skywalker, I just pretend that none of them exist, and I can go about my day, and it's
All right, here's now what you said about the Attack of the Clones. Nick, you think they could have just skipped that movie altogether, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, the way I feel about the sequel trilogy is
they could have
skipped that one altogether.
Yes,
and
exactly.
And I don't even think you would have missed the damn thing, because you could just did a crawl saying Emperor Palpatine is back.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because it's like Last Jedi did some things that going into it I wouldn't have wanted to see, but then after seeing it, I'm like, okay, so this is where we're going, and I would just like to see the next movie.
Yeah,
stick with that. The movie was like, over 2.5 hours long, because they spent so much time just retconning and dismissing a bunch of stuff that happened in the movie before it, and it's like, and I wasn't upset about that because I was like emotionally attached to that stuff.
No, not necessarily.
I was upset about that because I'm just like, what are we doing? And it's just such
why
a
are
bummer.
we here?
Yeah, it's just such a bummer that it's Star Wars. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna have the strongest opinions about this because it's my favorite franchise probably of all time, probably second to Batman. And just Batman just as a DC Comics character, but yeah, like how do you do that? I feel like, Nick, if someone came to us, me, you, and Russ, and said, okay, you guys do a Star Wars trilogy, just give us a treatment. I feel like we at least would be able to come up with, between our dumbasses, a starting and an end point. Like what if they're like, hey, we want to
give me the parameters of what I need to do. And
if guys, we want to do a Darth Bane Disney Plus series 6 episodes. Give us an outline. I'd be like, bet you got it. It wouldn't be like, well, Nick's gonna do his thing, and then I'm gonna close my eyes and then cover my ears and go like this, and then I'm gonna read his story. And I'm going to make my episode, and I'm going to give it to Russ. He's also going to be going like this and closing his eyes. It's just like, what do we do? What were they doing? It's just crazy.
I feel like it's weird to start in one direction and then take the story in a whole other, like, I don't even know if it was a direction. It's almost like I feel like they were just spinning their wheels.
Dude, so Russ, I'll send you the link to this. If you got 25 minutes to kill, there's this YouTube video. I forget the channel, but the dude, basically his thesis is like the sequel trilogy is the anti-trilogy, whereas like The Force Awakens is like the anti-prequel movie. So like everything practical effects, the world felt so small, and then The Last Jedi was the anti-Force Awakens movie. And then like they just went back and like just again kind of like spat in the face of that movie, you could say, to throw it off the rails. And then the Rise of Skywalker was like the anti Last Jedi movie. I'll send you the video. The dude obviously does a much better job of me than explaining that, but it makes a ton of sense.
I feel like they. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I feel like they just ruined everything. I don't know. It was weird. It's weird. How could you if I was to say this to you, best trilogy all time for you, right? I mean, maybe it is a Star Wars one. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But if I say what's the worst trilogy, I mean, right away your first thought has to go into that Star Wars sequel trilogy. It has to, right? I mean, it has to. And I'm not saying it is. Maybe it's not the worst, but it's got to be in the discussion. It has to be.
I think so. I think
it's horrific what they did, and This might be get too many fucking brains working in opposite directions. It's stupid.
Yeah, like like I've described it as a schizophrenic trilogy.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
it has multiple personalities from the first
Yep.
movie, the second movie, and the third. Yeah, Twilight was a trilogy too.
I count. Yeah, see, Twilight did this. Well, Twilight did what? 4 movies or 5
I
movies?
don't know, some shit like
But,
that. But
yeah,
it was
I
only
mean-
supposed to be like 3 books, right?
I guess so. I know they separate. They did the same thing everyone else was doing.
Yeah.
They made the last movie two movies or whatever. So
Yeah.
you know, like one of my favorites is the Hunger Games, and I consider it a trilogy because that was 3 books. And they guess they did 4 movies for 3 books, but it was
yeah.
a 3-book
If
trilogy.
like the last 2 movies tell one cohesive story, I can get behind.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
So I
that's
think-
a trilogy all day.
You know, and I thought the Hunger Games was really good.
But, like,
and
But like
Yeah.
what you're saying, yeah, it like just trying to think off the top of my head, I can't
Mhm.
think of a worse trilogy than the sequel Star Wars trilogy.
I don't know that I can either. I
can't
really
either.
can't. It would be hard for me to think of one even close to as bad as that is.
Yeah.
But maybe there is one out there. I don't know. I'm trying to think about it. No,
And
because
it's like because it's such a franchise that people hold so dear, you know.
Yeah.
Like, man.
I was thinking maybe the first set of Batman movies, but no, I loved the first one with Michael Keaton was great.
I love the
Second
first
one-
2.
The second one was great with Michael Keaton. I blew my way. The third one's where it got wonky. Okay,
Right, but
As soon as
like
Michael Keaton was gone, that's-
Val Kilmer's Batman was not as bad as the 2 George Clooney Batmans.
I would
at all.
agree with you 100%. George Clooney was horrific. I didn't like him. I didn't like him as Batman or Bruce Wayne. I didn't like him. Period. But I think Val Kilmer.
Yeah, nobody did.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it was. Val Kilmer could pull it off.
I'm trying to think like what would
Val
you
Kilmer, dude, like he's a good actor, man. Like that
No,
dude.
he's a good actor. He did a
It
good
sucks
job.
that his window just happened to be so small. Like what, Nick?
Yeah.
91 to 90. When did that Batman movie come out? 96,
Yeah.
97 maybe. Like, and I feel like
I
that
think
was it
so.
for him.
Because
And
the
he-
first
but
one was
think about
89
all the
and-
performances like in
Top Gun, fucking Heat.
Oh, Heat was good.
What was that one? where he-
Tombstone.
Tombstone, yeah, like
Tombstone was really good. Yeah,
he got his.
I
work in.
think his
Yeah.
Batman isn't as bad as people say.
No,
That
I don't think it
movie
is
was-
either.
That movie was bad. There was a lot of goofy aesthetic things that happened just across the world in the late 90s, and I think that movie just was another.
Well, we have to
victim of
remember too the reason for that movie being what it was
Sold
was
toys,
all
man.
about exactly sell toys. They
Selling
needed
toys.
it to not be dark. They wanted
Mhm.
to liven it up. So,
Yeah,
yep,
definitely.
yep. That was good. Tombstone was amazing.
Oh,
Anyway,
we forgot something he got robbed for an Oscar for. Fucking
What was that?
The Doors.
Oh God, yeah.
yeah.
That might be my favorite.
He was in.
role
He was
ever
in
done.
Willow too.
Yep.
He
Matt
did
Mardigan.
Yes, he was in Willow. Yeah, Matt
Yeah.
Morgan. Yep,
Val
yep.
Kilmer.
He was really
He
good in that
deserves.
too.
He gets an honorary MPSP Oscar, man. I'll
Yeah,
send it
man,
to
we
him.
love that guy. But the yeah, he was really good in that. But that Batman movie was it's because you had the first 2, and because they changed directors, that made Michael Keaton go, "I'm out." Because Michael Keaton was supposed to be in that movie, in that third movie.
Yeah.
He's the one that said, "Fuck that." You go
Yes,
in different
by that
direction,
point,
I'm out."
Michael Keaton wasn't
You know?
doing much, right?
No,
Well,
he
no.
rejected that shit.
He rejected
Yeah.
that shit because he didn't.
And he went and did
didn't-
Multiplicity.
Yeah, he wanted to, but
But like
he liked what they were doing, and they went
But-
and changed it. And I just think he said, "No, I can't go with that." You know?
And I think like something weird about the Batman trilogies too, comparing them to the 2 successful Star Wars trilogies.
Mhm.
If you think about the 2 Batman trilogies, those are pretty damn successful movies too.
They are.
The
Agreed.
drop off in those trilogies is the third act.
It
the
is.
third
Yep.
one because
Agreed.
Batman Forever and Dark Knight
Dark Knight.
Rises.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's not to say I feel like whenever I say that, people think I'm trashing the movie. I'm not. I think Bane is great. I think every performance from
It
the
wasn't-
first 2 movies, they're
was
still
it?
great. I think it's
Was it?
just
Which Al Ghul girl? It wasn't Talia Al Ghul.
Talia,
Yeah, it was
that's
Talia.
Was it Talia?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
it was Talia. Okay.
Nissa
I
was
couldn't
on the
remember if
Arrow
it was Talia or not.
show.
Yeah.
That's the
probably
one
what
I
you're
couldn't remember if
thinking
it
of,
was her.
I thought she was
I couldn't
cool on
remember
that
if
show,
it was
but
her or not.
Yes, I feel like that is just, and I'll say, I don't know if we're getting into this, but that's my number one is that Dark Knight trilogy.
All right,
I
let's
think-
get into it then.
Yeah, I think for
Okay.
Bruce Wayne, from
Yeah.
Begins to Rises, you get a really good story. I do
Why
like
don't
the
we-
way. Yeah, how do you want to?
Yeah, well, all right. How many do you have, Russ?
I 3.
It's a trilogy of trilogies.
Yeah, I'm just.
All right, well,
thought
me
top
and,
3.
me and Sam have at least 5.
Yeah, I got a
But
gang.
I
of
could
them.
So-
probably do 5. I mean,
All right, so why don't we do 5 and because
Okay.
we'll both get to our controversial ones, right, Sam?
okay.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay,
They
and
might-
then,
some of ours might
I have
match
up.
up and
I have
stuff.
up to 10, so like I'll go last.
I got up to
and
10
we can
too,
just
so we
talk-
can.
Yeah, we
yeah.
can just
okay.
do those as honorable mentions. All right,
Okay.
so Sam, why don't you start at your number 5, and we'll work our way down, and then we'll go to me, and then Russ, so that way, Russ, you can think about your last 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right, go ahead,
So-
Sam. Number
so,
5.
So my number 5. And again, this is my controversial one, but to
Yeah, we'll
me,
start
these
with
are
the-
these are 3 movies, one director,
Excuse me.
one cast, tell what to me is a good story from A to Z, and that's the Zack Snyder, Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Snyder Justice League. Like, I think those tell a good story in those 3 movies.
See, like that was one thing that I was thinking of as a trilogy too, and I was going to list it as one of the worst.
Dude, I love it. I love it. And it's like, man, so a lot of the I don't even know, like the criticisms I hear are things that I would, if it wasn't a comic book movie or a comic book like series of movies, I would agree with, but it's like it's an interpretation, right?
Yeah.
And you get those all the time in comics, but it's one that I think I just got to appreciate seeing one director's vision through these 3 movies, right?
I think that Scott Snyder fundamentally does not understand DC Comics characters.
Zack Snyder,
Yeah, whatever the fuck his name is, Zack Snyder.
and Scott Snyder. No,
My bad. That's different. Sorry, Scott Snyder. I'm behind. Zack Snyder, I don't think.
no, he did some good
understands
stuff.
Fucking DC characters at a fundamental
I think
level.
Zack
I
Snyder
think-
has an idea of a hero, and he kind
I-
of fits everything into that.
I think that when you start shoehorning Ayn Randian fucking philosophy onto Superman, and those speeches like Pa Kent telling Superman, he has to look out for himself and not look out for all those little people. I mean, that is counter to what fucking Superman is.
Yeah,
I mean,
And that's
it
tough,
goes
man, 'cause,
against,
like, that's
it goes
like-
against
it's
the
like-
root of the character and the
Yeah.
root of Pa Kent. I mean, like,
yeah. So
come
it's like
on.
whenever I heard that stuff, like I was just kind of like he doesn't want to see his kid go through a bunch of unnecessary shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so like that's where I'm like, and I thought, and like, I took that as like an interesting kind of twist on, again, this person's interpretation of that character. Right.
Then we get the Batman versus Superman.
So the extended edition, I like, and that's the thing, like with this trilogy, everything's a caveat. Like, and I got huge problems with all these movies, right? Especially Man of Steel, like the third act where he just destroys the city.
Yeah.
And feels bad because he killed one dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but again, it's what I like about it is the vision, and I think there's a story told throughout the 3 of them.
Okay.
Which
Fair
is something that
Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
Batman shooting people.
Dude, it's this Batman, dude. He's down. He's fucking.
He's
at
down
the end
his
of
luck.
rope, man.
It's rough.
He's at the end of his rope, and he tied it out, and he's just hanging on.
Batman doesn't kill.
Yeah, dude. Again, it's
Wow.
different.
But that's
We-
something inherent to the character.
Yeah,
I would agree, and he's been pushed to kill many times.
Right,
he
but there's
seems like
always
he's avoided it.
consequence for it.
No,
Mhm.
good point. Good point. Good point.
So
And,
that's my
especially whenever
Yeah.
Batman uses a gun, there's always a consequence. He usually
Yeah.
dies.
that's my
Mhm,
criticism for this
Mhm.
thing. That at least the first two movies is a lack of consequences, because whenever like the trailers came out for Batman vs Superman, it shows like Superman, he's going before, you know,
Martha.
I do want to also thank this movie for fucking 10
That's
years
funny.
of memes.
yeah, I
now.
know, dude. But like whenever like Superman's going to like this congressional committee, I'm like, okay, cool. They're gonna take my criticism of this first movie and they're gonna use it as a huge plot point for the second one, and then they just didn't.
Yeah.
They like made some weird thing in Africa, and like Superman definitely killed that dude. Dude like slammed through 4 brick walls, like
Oh yeah.
And then we get to Justice League.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
And no matter what version you give me of Justice League, it's a mess.
I like the Snyder cut, man.
Yeah,
I feel like he had
so too.
I feel like he had the benefit of hindsight with making that.
Even with the benefit of hindsight, that is a fucking Game of Thrones fucking dark ass movie.
It is,
where like you can't see it, and when I mean dark, I don't mean I'm upset
tonally,
because of the story. I'm upset because I can't see shit. And
no, that was a problem with it. That was a problem with it too. I would agree with that.
Fucking, and then it has the DC fucking effects problem of every fucking monster looking like a cave troll.
Yeah, dude, what is that? And like they use Weta, who like the Planet of the Apes.
That's good.
Like uses the same studio and everything on the DC side looks like a PlayStation cutscene.
I think the producers on the DC shit are just like, these nerds will eat anything up. Throw them like another cave troll.
I think it's funny that's your number 5 though. That at least it's your number 5.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I still love it. And it's like I'm not.
And please, with mine, feel free to pick mine apart because mine's going to be a weird.
Well, it's like that one. Like I know, like, and it's like to me. I enjoy the shit out of it, man. I love those takes. I love all that shit. But I think it's like for me, like what that does is I appreciate the tonal continuity of it all as a trilogy. And like that to me is kind of like a principle. Like when you see like the rest of mine, you're like, yeah, this is a thing for all of them. So,
all right. So what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Planet of the Apes, the Matt Reeves ones.
Okay, yeah, that's a dope trilogy.
And for me, like that's one where the first one, Rupert Wyatt directed that. He directed the first Venom movie. Yep. And I thought it was great, super interesting. And then that is one where there's the first movie that established everything and had my buy-in. And then Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was on a different tier. Yeah, Matt Reeves brought in that, which if you're not familiar, he just did the recent Batman movie. Yep. He did the second 2. Those movies are on another level. They took what was a cool base and an interesting base and then just blew the doors off of it, which is what I love to see with a sequel like that. So, and again, the first movie wasn't so much, but at least for the 2 and 3, that tonal continuity, you have basically the same characters for all 3 of them, and seeing where they start and end. And I think they're talking about doing a 4th one. Don't need it. I love the 3 that we got. It's good enough for me.
I like those a lot too. I can't see a problem with that. And like you said, like the first one is like if somebody went back and did a prequel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It was like, it's like one of those things that it was scary because it was like they almost had the hindsight of what they had to do in that movie too.
And it was in that era of that post Batman Begins, post Dark Knight, which I think had huge influence on movies. Where like we need to explain everything, every little detail of how this is possible. And I thought it worked. With this, in the way that they did it, but then it's like I just love that we start here and then we're just jumping levels
Yeah.
for this next movie. We got something really different.
And I think
really
that's
like
one of the trilogies where it fucking, you know, it jacked up a level every single one it went.
Mhm.
Mm,
Yeah.
I agree with that. It's,
And that's one where like kind of where I expected the third one to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
It didn't go the way I expected it to.
Yeah.
It went in a different direction, but I thought it was a better direction. Like I thought it was going to be just a full out war movie, and they gave us a little bit of that at the beginning.
And that movie had heart, man.
Exactly. I think they focus on what war does to people, how it changes people, what the consequences of war are, both personally and then on just the kind of the landscape. I'd say landscape. I mean like on the people that are involved in it, and I think that ended up being a much more impactful movie because of that.
When I used to write articles about movies and comics and shit like that, I could have written a whole series of articles just on Bad Ape.
Yeah, but Nick, like once you've done that once, you think of everything through that lens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you think I think it makes you think more critically about like everything. And I think that's a good thing.
But like that Bad Ape character having such a small part in that movie, but it gave that movie such a punch.
Yeah, and that's a good example of comic relief. Because when he was kind of goofy and funny and it made you laugh, it was because the movie needed that at that time because it was so heavy, so serious and not overly serious or anything like that. Yeah.
All right, so what's your number 3?
Lord of the Rings, which is like the hallmark of one vision, one director, one cast, one story split between 3 books. This was before the split the third one into 2 movies, which I think if there's any book that could do that, it's Return of the King. You know what I mean? But but this was they just had that they filmed all of them at once.
It's funny. It's your number 3.
Like they blew the walls off of a lot of special effects things at the time.
Oh yeah.
The sets that they used were great.
Can you still enjoy it watching it?
Yeah, definitely. And they get rewatched all the time in my house. Like they are like probably like the first on my list of just throw these on the background to have them on.
Yeah,
I think the real life, like the locations that they shot on, great. I think the craftsmanship that went into the set design, the costuming and everything like that is to this point just like unparalleled. Because The Hobbit didn't come close, right? It was like everything was, I feel like, filmed on green screen.
And then that was also, fucking splitting one book that was what, like 250 pages into 3.
Yeah, it was shorter than any. Yeah, it was shorter than any Lord of the Rings books.
Yeah,
and I think that's a mistake. But that one again, things I like is just that unified vision, right? Of one director going to do their thing. You definitely got that.
I was trying to be critical of Lord of the Rings, but at the same time, like just thinking about it, like, yeah, I can go back and watch it. I just have to be in the right mood.
It's weird. To me, it's a Christmas movie. I don't know, or they're Christmas movies. I don't know what it is, but it's like Christmas time. They're on all the time.
It's the pinnacle to me it became the new pinnacle for me of like fantasy movies, of like that fantasy genre movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Because before that, it was movies like Willow or even the Conan movies back in the day of that kind of stuff. And this movie was the one that these 3 movies were the first time I could say it was like it had all kinds of elements, fantasy elements. Remember Legend? That movie was good. But we had this was 3 movies, a story.
And this movie
middle,
for
end,
those 3 for me, like they kind of changed the way I viewed fantasy as a genre. I think I was 10 when the first one came out, and I was just kind of like, I just looked at it like skeptically, like I was like, I don't know, what's this fantasy bullshit. You know,
I feel
like
so fucking old when he says shit like that.
yeah, dude.
Same here, man.
It was before 9/11. It was
Oh.
simpler times, you know.
Oh God.
But that
man.
changed all that shit for me. I was like, okay, like this is cool. Like this
Unreal.
genre is cool, you know. And like there are you know, some really interesting things about it. And that movie just, you know, it's like as a kid, you know, like for me, it's just like. Whereas Planet of the Apes maybe doesn't have this effect. I'm an adult now as viewing those movies, but it's like, just having like your imagination as a kid, just being like when the fucking Balrog came out, and it's this big fucking demon who's on fire with these wings, and he's got a sword, and like I just was watching that. I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen on screen.
I wish I would have seen it at that age.
Yeah, and I was like, this is because I watched it. And I was sitting with my friend Patrick Duffy. He doesn't watch the show, but shout out to him. He's a great dude. He was like my childhood best friend, and I was like, this is what like we imagine.
Right.
And now we're seeing it on screen. Like this is the shit that like we draw pictures of. You know, like we all had like sketchbooks that we traded back and forth. I was like, this is that, but it's you know it's right here, and it's so
Nick, that's worth mentioning. By the way, I sometimes believe when this stuff came out, at what age you were and where you were at in life can definitely make a difference.
Yeah.
In how you liked it or not, or whether you or how much you liked it. You know, I like if I'd been like a 10-year-old kid, maybe you know when those movies came out, I probably would have been really into them too. It would have been badass. You know. Being that I was an adult, I was into them, but they just weren't as a trilogy. They're not high on my list as a trilogy. In fact, the other Lord of the Rings trilogy is higher. Is one of my favorites. Like I'm a big fan of the Hobbit stuff. So, but you know, but that's and I just think that kind of but I mean with all trilogies and all movies that can go into it as you know, like you know when you're a little kid, of course you have great probably better memories because you're younger, it was more exciting.
And it's like that first movie, like in that scene in particular, like really was just like, God, this is just awesome. And moving on from that, my second one is the Star Wars original trilogy, which I think you know what can you say about that? My first experience with those was through the special editions. They got released in theaters, and that was it for me. I just remember. And I think of Russ the age thing too. I was I think when those came out in 97. So I would have been seven or 8, you know, and I just remember it's like because like you go down the Walmart aisle now and they got it divided up on 2 sides and there's just different shit everywhere. Like back then, it was literally a whole wall with Star Wars. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that played a big part in it to me. Just looking and seeing like, and it's like now, like everyone's looking for this Demona figure, everyone's looking for this Bronx figure, and it's like, back then, like you just go there and it's literally any possible figure you would want is on this wall right now, and you can go get it and buy it.
It's funny. I'm by the way, I'm glad you got to see those originals in a theater. I'm glad you got to see it in a theater.
And I think that
is an experience to see those movies in a theater. It really is.
Yeah.
It's epic.
Yeah,
and I think everyone should experience.
My exposure to Star Wars was on VHS.
You know what? Yeah, I can understand.
I had never watched them before then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I knew what they were. I knew what Star Wars was, but and like that same friend that I saw Lord of the Rings with, like his parents took me to see all those.
I so appreciate seeing Star Wars on VHS because of that grainy, gritty quality of fucking VHS. It felt like such a grimy movie, and it was.
And I think you can still find cuts like that, like on YouTube, where like people have kind of edited them down.
Yeah,
to kind of fit with that and taking out a lot of the special effects. It's like Star Wars. Funny thing is like how you first experience it, and it's like if you're like if that was your first experience, like it's hard. You can't if you can't just go pick up the Blu-rays and have that same experience.
Right.
You know?
No,
I'm dying to know what you picked as your number one, that was better than that.
Oh,
Dying to know.
the Dark Knight trilogy.
Really?
And man, it's like, and it's as critical
that's
as I am of the
amazing.
third movie, and though I really loved it.
That's cool, Brink.
What do you say? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I love to hear
That's
it.
awesome, actually.
I think for one, it's my favorite character in all of fiction. It is Batman, and it's Batman Begins is the first movie we got after Batman and Robin, and
that
I
was
just
a good movie. I love Batman Begins.
and dude, same man. It's I feel like it gets thrown around Dark Knight's better. And I feel like that some days, but some days I watch Batman Begins, I'm like, shit, man, this might be better. But just going from that to that, going from Batman and Robin to Batman Begins movie, it took itself really seriously. People can argue too seriously, and I'll hear that, but explain the origins, and to me, it's what is like still my favorite Batman origin of like him and
me too
being trained by Ra's al Ghul, and again like how they took that old comic book character of Ducard and weaved him into to Ra's al Ghul. It's like something they didn't need to do, which you see so many times in comic book movies where they create somebody to fit a role that already exists. And when you know the fiction, how frustrating is that? Right. I Transformers is a good example, like the Bay movies where they create characters that already exist and then give them new names. But just like throwing the fans at bone shows it. And it was I think David Goyer wrote all of those, or was at least wrote them with Begins. He definitely did Dark Knight with Jonathan Nolan, which is Chris Nolan's brother. And I think Chris Nolan gets a little credit too. He probably went back and cleaned up some dialogue and things like that. But going from Begins to, which is again, and I mentioned this with Planet of the Apes, where you take the trilogy or you take the first movie and you establish the tone and everything like that, and then the second movie blows the doors off that. Heath Ledger, what else can you say? The way that Begins and Dark Knight juggled so many different villains. To where they all serve. So you look at Batman Begins. It had Victor Zsasz, Scarecrow, Carmine Falcone, Ra's al Ghul, all of which would be main villains in their own. Could be main villains in their own right in their own movies. Dark Knight,
absolutely.
Joker, Two-Face, Salvatore Maroni. Trying to think who else, and then Commissioner Loeb kind of. Between the first two movies, all those to be villains in their own right, and then the way that they found a way to use them and have meaningful roles for them, and then the Dark Knight Rises. I think I said a bit about that. I think it's the weakest one. It's just too clumsy, too clunky. But yeah, I mean, even if for the Nolan trilogy, you take the first two. Yeah, it's good enough for me.
Yeah,
Nick,
do you want to go, Russ, or do you want me to go?
I'll go real quick. I'll go real fast because mine won't take too long. I mean, my number 5 for me would be the original, the first Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire.
Okay. Yeah, that was close for me, Russ.
I will say that
that's in my honorable mentions. Definitely,
that first Spider-Man movie for me was just fucking incredible, and I felt like, I guess for me, because I've been wanting a Spider-Man movie so bad, like a live-action Spider-Man movie, so fucking long.
And then Russ too, like that was in the that era where like we got X-Men before that,
right?
And it was a comic book movie, but they didn't look like they did in the comics. Grant Morrison and Frank Quietly kind of adapted that with a new X-Men to kind of look like they did in the movie. But with Spider-Man, that was like comic book movie. He looks like he does in the comics. I
mean, even the villains. Okay, and then you got Green Goblin. He didn't look like Green Goblin in the comic book. I know he didn't. But
then, like, if you look at like the way that movie was shot, like with everything kind of being oversaturated, which I think there's definitely a learning curve in the early 2000s.
I think so. I think
how do you make a comic book movie? How do you kind of reference
because if you look at that materials? First one compared to the second one, which by the way, Brink, I agree with you. That's the second movie in that trilogy with Doc Ock. Was unfucking believable. I love that movie.
It's one of the best
Doc
superhero
Ock
movies,
is-
man.
I think
Oh,
people
yeah.
forget how good that movie was.
I think they do forget how good that was. It
It's
was
so good.
really
It's so
amazing.
good.
He was, and I did the casting in those movies was really good, man. And
Yeah.
Dude,
just-
for
it was
real,
fucking
it's like
amazing.
look how they
damn.
brought him back for No Way Home. You know,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
And Willem Dafoe
I mean,
came back and didn't skip a beat.
yeah.
No.
You know,
No,
he
and
was
they
a
were really
fucking
good.
menace.
And that, and then now, okay, and now with every trilogy, there's always
Yeah,
one
the third
movie
one. Yeah.
that falls off the edge a little bit, and that would be the
Mhm.
third one. I felt like the third one just went.
Yeah. And so, and I think with that one, it's like, I just spoke about like Batman Begins,
Yeah,
juggling,
right.
having all these different villains.
Mhm.
Whereas I feel like Spider-Man 3 had all those different villains, but because they combined different scripts together,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
didn't really see like, how can we use these people in different roles or whatever. So
Which sucks is that
a
could have
mess.
been really, that movie could have and should have been way better if they just done some things differently. Venom to
If they
me,
had left Sam Raimi alone.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. I agree with
he
that.
had ideas, man.
Venom should have been done so much better than he was. He just should have been. He should
I
have been
think
better.
you do
he was
Venom and
added
Goblin
on.
2, man.
He was added on.
And I think
Yeah,
that
and
could
that
be a movie
sucks.
with just
How do you-
Goblin 2.
How do you make Venom an add-on?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's fucking
Yeah,
Venom.
see, like
Yeah.
You know,
Michael
give a
Plath
break.
was saying the same thing. Yeah, Venom
know?
originally was just supposed to be like the Sandman and Harry.
Oh,
Or I
Mhm.
think they might have had like some minor guy in the beginning, just like as a
just-
set piece. But
very,
yeah,
very upsetting. But
Yeah,
you know,
I think that movie was like, you could have just done Goblin 2,
yeah,
and it could have been a 90-minute movie.
But even
Like,
if
I
you
feel like
wanted to-
people kind of shy away from that, but fuck
you
it.
could
Tell
have
your
done
story.
it and made it. Yeah, you could have done Goblin 2, and then if you wanted to bring Venom in on, you could have done it, but doing not as an add-on.
yeah.
Do it legit, But yeah, everyone has a downfall, I guess. My number 4 is Back to the Future trilogy. I that's just a classic. We were all kids when that shit was out, and stuff, and I don't know. They were fun movies. They were just fun, I like time travel shit anyway, and I love to see whether or not they're gonna fuck it up or not. Because that's what I always look for. And I will say the Back to the Future movies did decent. They did a decent job of being as meticulous as you can be, I guess.
Yeah.
And of course then you go into then you can go into some string theory shit and the whole how another the whole new timeline got created within the second one and all that.
I'd say for consistency, I don't
Yeah.
know that you can beat the Back to the Future trilogy.
I would agree
Yeah.
with you. I think they did really good. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
It might be the one that was probably consistently good story all the way through and stayed to the story all the way
Yeah.
through all three of them. So that's and it's and the good acting. I mean the actors were great in it. It was
Cast was good,
it's- cast was great, and even when they got to the second one and when he's in the future and they have to. He's playing multiple versions of himself, old Marty McFly. It's crazy and fun. Is it stupid? Yes, but it was good. I loved it. And you can't argue with that one. And then now those are the two.
I was just looking real
Yeah.
quick. Robert Zemeckis directed all those.
Yes, yeah, and again, this goes to what you were saying and what you guys were saying. I think if you stick with one vision all the way through, I feel like this is when you get the best trilogy from beginning to end. That's why I think that's the secret. I think, and that's Back to the Future is a perfect example of it. My third one, I'll get to my 3. My third one was the Dark Knight trilogy. I Batman Begins, and you've already said it. Everything can be said about it, Sam. It's that movie is
Liam
amazing.
Neeson.
Liam Neeson's
God.
incredible. He was good, and I love the
Cillian
Joker.
Murphy.
Yeah.
Damn good
Yeah.
Scarecrow, man.
Amazing.
Perfect casting, man.
And I love the Joker. He's probably my favorite Batman villain, but I love Ra's al Ghul stands
Dude, me too,
at
man.
another level to me.
He's like in a different kind of category to me.
He is. The Joker's the
Different
Joker.
threat.
Al Ghul is just up here. He's the one that I feel like is equivalent to Batman.
That's
mentally,
whenever they show up at the mansion and he just gives them that talk and kind of explains everything. Dude, that shit. goes so fucking hard, man.
Yeah,
Oh, so
yeah,
good.
it's amazing, and
talk about it all
I
day.
yeah, it was just done well, and you know, in the second one, and my son, that's my son's favorite Joker. Heath Ledger is his favorite Joker. He thinks,
Me too,
and
man.
I told him, I said, my favorite was from the '89 movie. You know, but I thought Jack did a great job. You know, and I thought he's my favorite version of the Joker. But you can't knock what he had the job he did. He was incredible, and I mean, Heath Ledger was incredible. It was amazing. You know, you can't.
It was
and
a
I think I
culture.
can see-
It was a culture moment role.
It was, and
Heath
yeah.
Ledger is the Joker. I would argue is just as culturally significant as James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause.
I would say that because it's remembered so well. Now I know,
And he posthumously won the Oscar for it.
Yes.
And I think both of those, Nick, reflected what was
a moment
perceived
in
as
time.
cool at the time. Yeah, he's at that moment. Yeah,
definitely. My number 2 is the Indiana Jones.
Nice.
trilogy.
Sir.
I don't count the Crystal Skull.
Right.
I fucking hate that movie. So I'm sorry.
And then looking at that again, consistency.
Indeed, consistency, and he, you know, he's just it's a fun character, man. You know, I mean, I always thought he was great. You know, and he's just.
And that third one could have easily went off the fucking rails, but
it could have.
It
could have.
Dude, I watched that just as much as the first two.
I think so too. It's funny. It took me a while to warm up to that one, actually, but now it's up there for me, really high on my favorite movie list. You know, it was good, and of course, my number 1 is the original Star Wars trilogy. To me, that's the trilogy. That's the one that everything should be modeled after. You know, between that and Back to the Future might be the two that are the most consistent. The you know, all the way through, just the best. You know, you can't.
Temple of Doom is weak though; it held back a lot, but it's still a great movie.
You know what? I would agree with that. But Temple of Doom had so many really cool fucking moments in that movie. I mean, my God.
Kalima.
Yeah, you saw a motherfucker rip a dude's heart out of his chest. You can't beat that. I know, right? He stuck his fingers in it. And you know, and then they're bluing motherfuckers down to just burn them. And as the guy's body burns, the heart burns while beating it. I mean, that is incredible, dude. That's incredible. You can't fuck with the supernatural shit in that. That's great. And then little guy, what's his name? Little tater tot guy, little Chinese kid.
Tater tot guy, what the fuck are you even talking about?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Oh my God!
I don't
tater
know.
tot guy. That's a thing people say. You know,
I don't remember his name. Short round. That's it. Short round.
Not that that's any better, but that's not your fault.
But that was his name. I'm sorry, but he was cool as shit. I loved him. He was a little badass, man. You know, little kung fu motherfucker. Yeah, he was awesome. It was good when he's
not looking.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right. Now I was critical of movies on you guys' list and trilogies on your list. So remember, this is me. So feel free to tear it apart.
All right. Here we go. This is gonna be fun.
All right. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Well, my controversial one is going to be 5 and 4.
Okay.
5 is The Exorcist. The first 3 movies of The Exorcist.
Okay.
You know,
the first one.
I've only seen the first 2.
Classic movie.
The first one might be the greatest. Or one of the greatest,
movie, man.
Like
genre-defining movie.
You know?
Yeah, it was. It scared the shit out of me. It's why I don't like possession movies. It's because of that movie.
Everybody has an opinion about the first movie. The second one, again, in a trilogy movies, sometimes the second movie is the worst.
That's the one that I didn't like.
The second one was very weak. The
was.
Third one to me.
Which one's the Heretic? Is that the second one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went and saw that in the movie theater. It was really bad.
The third one to me is one of the most underrated movies of all time,
Mm-hmm.
where it's
Shit, dude, I need to go watch it.
there's a serial killer
Yeah.
and he is acting out like copycat crimes from the first fucking Exorcist movie. And they think that this serial killer is possessed.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a gigantic twist at the end that, like, I can't spoil
Don't
if
tell
you're
me.
gonna go
Don't tell
watch.
me.
Yeah,
I actually want to watch.
it's amazing.
But that movie, that third one, by the way, gave some explanation for things too.
Yeah.
I felt like there was some explanations, and I won't go into too much detail here, but that's why I like the third one so much, because the second one they gave some explanation for things too. But I think the third one, that was the movie that started connecting things too. There's a lot of connections made in that one.
I think it's one of the most underrated movies of all time.
Probably is. It's a pretty underrated movie because I don't know that too many people would think about that as a good movie. Maybe because of the genre it's in, or maybe it's just because you get bogged down by the first Exorcist movie being such a classic that you don't think of the sequels. But
Michael brings up a good point. He says, I like the Hannibal trilogy more than Exorcist. I'm weird. Silence of the Lambs is an all-time great. Yeah, Silence of the Lambs is an all-time great, but Hannibal is a very weak movie, in my opinion. Red Dragon is a hell of a lot better than Hannibal.
Now, what about Silence of the Lambs 2? Did you?
Yeah, that was Hannibal.
That was Hannibal. Is that the one that was Hannibal?
Yeah,
okay.
That was the one.
Right.
That was the one with fucking James Gordon from the Nolan trilogy. What's his
Gary
name?
Oldman.
Yes,
Gary
it
Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
Wasn't Edward
And-
Norton
and-
in the third one?
Edward Norton played Will Graham in the third one.
Yeah,
And
he
that
did.
and
Yeah, so
fucking
Gary
Rafe-
Oldman had like his face all cut up, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, Rafe
like a
Fiennes
child
played.
molester or something.
Yeah, Rafe Fiennes played the Red Dragon in Red Dragon.
He's good
Right.
in everything, man.
Yeah. So
Red Dragon's good.
that's a damn good trilogy. It just didn't make my top 5.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think The Exorcist is bigger culturally than Silence of the Lambs.
Well, it's to me, The Exorcist is scarier than Silence of the Lambs. It does what it's intended to do. If that shit, that movie, The Exorcist movies don't get you thinking, and really get some of the shit you see in those movies. If they don't send a cold shiver up your spine, you're not fucking human. Okay.
All right. So my number 4 is one I made up. Okay.
Okay.
Kind of like Sam's, but mine, there are 3 chronological movies in a series of movies.
Okay.
Star Trek 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, hell
I'll
yeah.
give you that. And I'll tell you why. They're all connected.
Yep.
I'll give you that exactly. They're all connected.
So Wrath of Khan,
Uh-huh.
Search for Spock, and
Yep.
Voyage Home.
Voyage Home. They all go from the ending of one is the beginning of the next one, and so on. You're right. I would count that as a movie trilogy. I would.
I think it's a trilogy, and I think critically underrated.
Man, The Search for Spock is absolutely one of my favorite Star Trek movies.
The Wrath of Khan is my favorite science
Wrath of
fiction
Khan is
movie.
really good as well, but I think
I feel like those stick more like for me at least, because I grew up, I mean we all did, like well after the original show, so like those movies to me, that was my only interaction with the original Star Wars cast. It's like to me, or Star Trek, it's like to me like that was like who they were and what they looked like. So like years later, so like years later, when I saw the original show, like it was like I was like, oh, this is weird.
Jarring,
yeah. It's like that was like them to me. And I think for anyone born like around my age at least.
And then, dude, The Voyage Home, I believe, was probably shown in every elementary school across America when it came out.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't understand that movie. Look, if you're a Star Trek fan, you will understand why that movie is so fucking amazing. They took a fucking Klingon ship, a warbird, and And they took that pitch and they traveled through time with it. Now, Klingons are known for having junky ships. Let me just tell you this first of all. Klingon ships are not known for being the greatest ships. They're badass. They got good weaponry. They got a cloaking device, but they're pieces of shit. They took this rattly piece of shit back in time, and it's so funny, dude.
And there's so many funny moments in that movie.
Yes, there
when
are.
Scotty grabs the mouse.
Yes. Oh, we lost Nick. Oh shit.
Oh, thank God. Woo. No. Look, he went out. He left us on a cliffhanger too.
Oh no!
So Scotty grabs a mouse.
He gives a mouse.
He pulled the plug.
Yeah.
He goes computer. And
then if you watch Star Trek Picard, they just had a callback to that movie with the dude on the bus.
Anna and I just watched that episode last night. In fact, we just watched it last night. Yeah. We were.
Could you please turn down that noise? And that dude had a fucking PTSD moment.
It's the same actor, by the way. It was the same actor.
Yeah,
they got to play.
That was so great.
Yeah.
And I love, like, people were criticizing that episode. That's not what LA is like right now. That was such an anachronism. And it's like, no, it's this old punk dude on this bus, and I'm sure you've seen that once or twice.
Right?
Yes, there are plenty of fucking motherfuckers that are holding on to their old. Come on, of course that's so dumb criticizing that shit. Of course because I guess it's supposed to be 2024. Yeah. You're right. It's not LA right now. That's 2024.
Yeah.
We're in 2024.
Punk is coming back.
Yeah.
We got 2 years.
All right.
Amazing. Go ahead. That's not bad, Nick. That's good. That's a good.
My number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 2, and 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That totally works.
See, I like the first one. I despise the second Nightmare.
The second one
Revenge.
is such a cult movie, man.
I hate it though, man.
Dude.
It's too much autoerotic, homosexual.
Yes, but that's what makes it so crazy. And what makes it so scary. Like, I saw it as a kid, man. So like I was just uncomfortable and didn't know why.
I guess
because
so,
it was such a clumsy handling of
that's a good way. I guess
of sexuality like that, and then like the BDSM undertones to it.
Yes,
it was just so crazy. Then the third one is arguably one of the 2 best Nightmare movies they made.
I would agree. Dream Warriors was amazing. It was top notch. There's so many. Freddy Krueger got creative in Dream Warriors. Let's put it that way. That's when you get to see the creative killing of a child murderer.
Yeah, that's where Freddy Krueger got defined for the rest of the franchise.
Yes, it was, because it had the greatest lines in the franchise. Primetime bitch.
Welcome to Primetime bitch.
Yeah. I mean, it's like my girls turns into a little punk rock badass with her switchblades or butterfly knives, whatever it was. She's whipping his ass, and Freddy's like, "Head on, we shouldn't fight. Let's get high." He turns his fingers into needles. By the way, she's a recovering drug addict. So we got to tell you about that. But it was just so.
And then Heather came back.
Yes, Heather.
And John Saxon was in it too.
Yeah, he was, because he played her dad. Yep. The other one was like there was a really cool character in that movie. The kid, he's a nerdy kid. He's in a wheelchair, and but in Dreamland, he's a wizard.
Yeah.
And he blasts Freddy, but Freddy's got great lines in that. He's like, "Have a seat," and he's like, "No thanks, I'm just fine right now."
When he sends that fucking wheelchair after him, that shit was scary as fuck.
It's like a wheelchair all spiked up and shit. And he's like, "Maybe for now,
Mad Max
when you
wheelchair.
wake up, it's back in the saddle again." He's so fucking evil, dude. That was good. Not bad. That's not a bad one. Even though I hate the second one, I give you that.
I thought I was gonna get a lot more pushback.
No, that's not bad.
All right, so my number 2 is Star Wars, the original trilogy.
See, what the fuck is up with you guys? How is it your number 2?
Because my number 1 is
nothing was better, man.
What could be better than that? I don't understand.
The Godfather.
Yeah, dude.
That
was right outside.
I don't know.
How is that debatable?
The Godfather, because you got to be that's The Godfather is a
Okay.
it's a well acted movie. I'll say that.
Okay,
I will say that.
hold on a second.
Directed,
That's
Out-
good.
well
out-
directed.
Yes.
Out of all these trilogies,
Yes.
I could argue that only one of these trilogies that we've mentioned probably has two of the parts of it that could be on the top 10 movies of all time.
Yeah,
I know.
for sure.
You're right. You're
For
right.
sure. The first two, man. And it's like just like the accolades that they've won. Like they
I
blew
understand
everything.
that, but
Lord of the Rings is close, but yeah.
I like the Godfather movies. I'm not hating on them, okay? But there is something I don't like about the Godfather movies. Like they do a lot of time jumping and flashback shit.
Yeah, I
And
like it,
can't-
man.
It drives me nuts because I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn it, stop.
And it's like my one criticism with them is the same with the Dark Knight trilogy, where it's like the third one I could just
do without.
Okay.
push
I
away,
agree.
and then
I agree.
they are
I
what they
to-
are.
I
And I don't
totally
hate the third one.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, to me, the third one, if it didn't have the Godfather fucking touch on it, could be considered
if you
one of
just-
the best gangster movies of all
If you
time.
just if you
still.
just put out
Yes.
if you just put it out and just gave it a different name and gave the
Yeah,
characters
I
different
get it.
names, like everyone would love it. Like
Yeah.
I guess I just forget about it as a trilogy because it is a trilogy.
Yeah.
It really is.
Mhm.
It's the 3 movies.
and
And
Francis
then
Ford Coppola,
again-
he did all of them, right?
Yep. And then again,
He's still alive.
you've also got to think about this. They've done the trilogy where you can watch it in chronological order.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know they did that. Okay, that's bad.
So, like, the flashback parts with Robert De Niro
Mm-hmm.
are all at the beginning. It's called the saga version.
I didn't.
So
know they
all
had
the
that.
Robert
Okay.
De Niro shit's at the beginning,
That's not bad. Okay.
and then it goes to Vito and
Mhm.
from
Right.
what he does in Italy to Vito in New York, and then the
Right.
stuff with the Don, and then part 3.
That's not too bad. Okay, so that
Yeah.
helps a little bit. But I mean, yeah, I'm a bigger Star Wars fan than I am a Godfather guy. So for me, Star Wars would be the better one. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Growing up, dude, I'm Scotch Sicilian, so I mean,
my
Mhm.
mom,
You have a
my
choice.
mom was a big fan of the Godfather movies, and she would make me watch them.
yeah.
That's
And
another
mine,
one
yeah.
though. That's kind of like Nick. You had a few of these, man. This like genre defining movies.
Yeah.
Godfather certainly is. It's
Yeah, it is. It is. It's
All
good. I don't know. It's
So-
like for a
Star
gangster
Wars.
movie that takes itself seriously.
So
like,
tell me, I mean, is it better than Star Wars because it was just such a critically acclaimed movies, or
the story is
do you think
the
the
story
story-
is
man,
amazing.
yeah, I would
the
agree with
story's
that.
amazing,
I
but
would
so is
agree
the
with
Star
that.
Wars story.
So-
Star Wars story is pretty amazing too, right? I mean,
I think that The Godfather is definitely written better.
Dude, what's funny because like they
Yeah,
were made
yeah, I
at the
give you
same
that, I
time,
give you
and like
that. It
Francis
is.
Ford Coppola and George Lucas were like
Yeah.
boys, dude. Like they were like
yeah.
them and like
The,
Steven Spielberg were
the
like
performances in The Godfather.
Well, okay, yeah, but that's easy to say because that's more of a dramatic movie.
Okay,
think
yeah,
but still,
Star
the
Wars not so
acting-
dramatic,
The
more
acting,
corny,
the
yeah.
acting in moments in The Godfather, I'll
Yeah.
put them up against anything.
dude.
have
You know who's my
before.
I
favorite
know,
in
I
those
know, I agree.
movies that
That's-
like I feel like it floats on the
Sure.
radar?
Huh.
Fucking Robert Duvall, man. Like
He really is good. He's
I
good
love
in
him
them.
in those movies.
His
and I
character
love, like,
was good.
I love like that type of role
Yeah.
of just
Yeah.
like the loyal, like kind of just
That-
like
by the way,
badass. It sits,
That's another thing.
sits in the
if
back, you know,
and
like
I'm going against my own argument here, but that movie, the cast in this Godfather movies is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
So,
and it's like look
I
at
mean-
what everyone did after that. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
yes,
I think they have a bigger ripple effect than Star Wars did because
I think so. I
Harrison
think
Ford went on to do a lot.
Carrie Fisher is a lot more important in Hollywood than people realize as a
Yeah.
script doctor and all of that.
Mhm.
Also writing, what was it? That she wrote that one movie that was like really fucking good. I can't Postcards from the Edge of Forever or something. Postcards from the Edge, I think was her. Something like that. It is like considered like one of the greatest scripts ever written in Hollywood, and she has punched up scripts for a billion things. I can't remember.
Yeah,
exactly
I
what it
want to
was,
go back and look at her credits and stuff and
Yeah,
just
but Mark Hamill voices the Joker.
Yeah, I was thinking he's got a shit ton of acting credits, which is like that's important, man.
Yeah.
Just fucking around.
But like, yeah, I mean, but everywhere you look in The Godfather, Marlon Brando, Al Pacino,
Mm-hmm.
fucking
Like even the side
James
characters, like,
Caan,
yeah.
Robert Duvall, Talia Shire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's a good point. Michael may make a good point on that. I mean, that he's right. I mean,
then even Godfather 3, fucking Cuban guy. The young guy who was in the Ocean's 11 movies, Antonio Garcia,
yeah.
Sofia Coppola,
yeah.
yeah. And there's been a bunch of people that made like a bunch of cameos and shit in there.
I think what it was,
and then like people that you never heard of that were in that movie, like the dude that played Luca Brasi. That's an all-time great character that has like what 5 minutes of screen time total.
Yeah, but it's a memorable 5 minutes of screen time. So I think it maybe it's what it is we don't give it that what it deserves, because like Michael said, it's they knew, like, those 3 movies were planned out. They knew it. They knew where they were going to go. They know where the Star Wars movies were kind of on a wing and a prayer.
Dude, I don't think The Godfather was, man. I think the first one did really well.
Yeah,
and then
that was
they
the
had
thing.
an
The
opportunity
first
to bring
one
some
broke
people
all
back.
sorts of records and made all sorts of money.
I thought the second one was planned already. I thought they were planned. Are you sure?
And then the third one was it what in the 90s?
Yeah, it was like 1991
the third one
92.
Was the third one out in the 90s? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you sure it came out?
Dude,
in the 90s?
it was Andy Garcia in it.
I forgot how.
It was after Son of a Woman.
I'm curious now.
Yeah, Russ, that was 90. Yeah, 1990.
It was 1990.
Mm-hmm.
God, I didn't realize
maybe it was
came
before
out
Son of a Woman. Then sorry,
I didn't realize it came out that.
That one had
I swear it was. I thought it was in the 80s.
Andy Garcia, Diane Keaton was in it.
Diane Keaton is the fucking wife. Yeah, great all-time role.
That is incredible that movie came
out
in
1990. What is Diane Keaton in? Father of the Bride.
Oh.
Great movie.
But yeah, just in my personal opinion, I don't think you can get a better trilogy than The Godfather. That's just again my personal opinion.
I got you.
You make
great arguments.
That too, like man, for sure.
I mean, I made one of your arguments for you. The cast is disturbingly good.
Yeah,
through all of them, it's disturbingly
good. Now, what did you guys? All right, I'll just go through my mentions that you guys already had. Indiana Jones, the Tobey Spider-Man, and Lord of the Rings. I had.
Okay.
The ones I had that you guys didn't, because I did 10. I had the only one were Alien 1 through 3 and The Matrix.
So I had the girl with the dragon tattoo, the Swedish version of all those. Who had Noomi Rapace, and then I forget the dude's name, but those 3 movies really good. Same cast throughout. Good little mystery detectives things if you like those and don't mind reading subtitles, which I don't. And then I had the I put the original X-Men. Yeah. Because the first one was what it was, and then the second one was so good.
Yeah.
The third one is hot fucking garbage. I was getting to the bottom of the barrel, but I really like those first 2 for what they were.
When they make the third one, bro.
Oh, you know what? Kill Bill. I forgot about
07.
But Kill Bill was only 2 movies there, right? Yeah.
Yes. He's made noise
about on a third one.
Yeah, he's made noise that Kill Bill 3 is going to be his last movie. Mm-hmm. Is his 10th and last movie.
Now is Kill Bill 3
supposed to be Kill Quentin?
Is it? I heard rumors that it's supposed to be the little girl.
The little girl
is going to come back after for killing her mother or whatever.
Yeah.
What was her name? Copperhead was her mother. I can't remember which snake it was.
Yeah, I think Vernita Green.
Yeah, and I think that was Copperhead. I think she's the one.
Yeah.
I
should have been motherfucking Black Mamba.
Yeah.
Fucking Kill Bill is awesome.
Those movies are just amazingly good. The fight sequences are just fucking so well done. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to argue with anything in any list because it's all subjective anyway. But
Oh yeah, it's everybody's
you know,
opinion, but
I think that I do agree with you about I mean, if you were to list some of the worst trilogies, I mean that Star Wars not prequel, but
I'm still trying to rack my
sequel would
brains
be
for
up
a
there.
worse one.
I
don't
can't
think
even
there- I
think
don't
of
know
one
that
because
there's
Nick
You know
was
what?
saying-
You know what? I can
What's
give
one?
you a
What
worse
is it?
one.
What's
Thor.
worse? See, I disagree. I like Thor.
Man, so I think they're just that one because it's just everything is all over the place, right?
Yeah,
But I will say, like Nick, the hard part about finding a bad trilogy is they usually don't commit to more than one of them.
Yeah.
If the first movie comes out and
that's a
it's
good
bad,
point.
they say fuck this shit. We're not.
See,
we're not
the reason
doing
why
anymore. They
the
might
reason why
get the
Star
two.
Wars one's different because the first
Because
movie
it's Star
wasn't
Wars.
bad. It wasn't a bad movie,
Dude,
It's just
so man, I completely like after all is said and done,
yeah.
the first one fucking sucks because it doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like knowing that it's all meaningless. It just
Okay,
ruins. I
You
don't
can
need. I
say
won't
that
even watch
now,
rewatch
but when
those
you
movies.
but
man.
when you watch that first movie, Force Awakens, okay, when you first watch the movie, it's not a horrible movie. It's a callback
Yeah.
to the original Star Wars, right?
Some would say
And
too much of a callback.
I would argue. too
I
much
did
of
like
that
it the
too.
first time it was called A New Hope.
Right?
Yeah.
But
Well,
still,
hey, Nick,
they
they were banking on that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
said
they
that,
went
well,
back.
then you'll like it
That was
this
their
time too,
strategy. It was
baby,
a nostalgia.
They went back to a formula that they knew people would like, and they would get the feels, and it did that. That movie doesn't suck until the other two are made, and you go,
Yeah.
"Oh God, that's garbage now too," because they fucked
Yeah.
that up.
Oh God, we could do a whole
Yeah.
episode on that.
But
I think we
I'm
should.
definitely
I think we could get into a fight over Tarantino movies because I think that our fucking tastes are so different that
Dude,
I think
it's funny because I hate some
you're-
of the stuff he did.
Are you
know?
are you not a big fan? Are you not a big fan of Tarantino, Sam, or just a lot of stuff you don't care?
I am, and I also am not.
Yeah.
Okay,
certain
that's
things,
fair.
you know what
That's
I mean?
fair. That's right.
Certain
Okay, well,
things
what's your
he did? I love.
Okay, what's your favorite Tarantino movie then?
My favorite,
Yeah,
Pulp Fiction.
that's not a bad choice. I mean, that's not a bad pick either. That's good.
Oh, that
Pulp
movie-
Fiction's really good.
It's good,
I mean,
man.
you can't go wrong with Pulp Fiction. God, that's boy, that's tough because I like Pulp Fiction too. Pulp Fiction's really good, but oh man. Oh God, I don't know. I keep trying to come in on figure eights.
I've got to go Pulp Fiction #1.
You got to go Pulp Fiction #1. Oh,
but
man.
like 1A is Inglourious Bastards for me.
Inglourious Bastards is really good. God, Inglourious Bastards is good. I forgot how good that fucking is.
Yeah,
Dude, I even like the Hateful Eight.
Yeah. Hateful Eight. God, another
man.
good
I
one.
think my close
Jesus
two would.
Christ.
I really like Jackie Brown. Dude.
I love
Fucking
Jackie
love
Brown.
that. I
too.
think that's a good movie,
And then
man.
like
See, I like the Kill Bill movies a lot too.
I need
see,
to-
like my quote unquote trash take is that Reservoir Dogs I think is probably the weakest.
Yeah, people love that too. I need to watch Kill Bill. I think I haven't seen those movies in probably 10 years. You know what I mean? So I need to rewatch those.
I like the Django Unchained a lot.
Yeah,
That's-
Django I think would be
awesome.
my third.
Yeah, that was that movie is fucking great.
Yeah.
And I would say probably before I saw that movie, I would have said Pulp Fiction, but I think I like that one more than Pulp Fiction. So I like Pulp Fiction too. It was great, but that was crazy.
I have to say Pulp Fiction because I love that movie so much. I think that like it's in my head as my favorite Tarantino movie, and I don't think I can like be argued off of it.
But you know what though?
But the fucking performances in Inglourious Bastards,
Inglourious
Brad
Basterds is
Pitt,
good.
fucking
Yeah,
Christoph Waltz,
Yeah.
fucking Alien 1 through 3, brother. Was in our in my honorable mentions. But
Yeah, it was honorable mentions.
But like,
Hey, Nick,
fucking
that movie took Christoph Waltz to a different level. I mean,
absolutely.
he'd been around before then. He wasn't a household name.
But
before
No.
that movie,
And dude, even the small ones, like fucking the director did Hostel.
though.
Eli Roth.
Eli Roth,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
BJ Novak's in that movie.
Eli Roth is the Bear Jew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that, dude. Man. So that movie to me, it's like because it's like a like what do you call it, speculative fiction or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's like a fiction
Same
of
thing,
nonfiction.
and I
things.
love Once Upon a
love that
Time in
shit, dude.
Hollywood too.
I was just about to ask you,
Dude,
have you
yeah.
seen that yet? Because
I enjoyed that a lot.
No, we did not mention the Austin Powers trilogy.
Oh,
Okay.
As far as
huge
comedy,
oversight.
comedy trilogies, it'd be up there.
Yeah, it was very funny.
I mean, what else would there be for comedy? We could talk about that, but yeah,
Ghostbusters.
Cheech
what
and
do you-
Chong movies. I don't know.
Ghostbusters was also originally in my honorable mentions until somebody said Lord of the Rings, and then I had to bump Ghostbusters.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was a movie I watched, and I didn't think I was gonna like it at all, and it was
good.
good.
Hey, that
It was
movie,
really good.
that movie had a lot of heart, man. I like
it
my
did.
favorite part of that movie is when Leo goes out and cusses those dudes out for being on his street with that loud muffler. And fix your fucking muffler.
Fucking muffler, man. I like how he says it. It's like so white.
The moment for me that had the most heart in that movie, in like, it was crazy because of the way they did the end. I won't spoil it because I know people haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Was the moment where Margot Robbie went to go see herself in the movie, and then like it's such a gut turning moment because you know what happens in real life, and Margot Robbie plays her so human and likable and lovable. And you're just like, oh my god, that's gonna happen to her.
Like, who is it? The dude from that played Baron Zemo. It's like it would only suck to be like, oh yeah, I had to play Roman Polanski. You know what I mean? Like that's like it's like it's not super.
Roman Polanski was never banned from the Academy until after the 90s, I believe.
Now
also.
I know he didn't direct this movie, but I think he did. I think he wrote some of it though. Or maybe wrote the whole thing.
True
but
Romance.
From Dusk Till Dawn, I really liked a lot with Quentin Tarantino.
What did he produced it with? Because that's a Robert Rodriguez movie.
There's a Robert Rodriguez. He didn't direct it, but I think he did some writing for it too. I don't know if he wrote the whole thing, but I know he did some script writing for it too. I liked him as an actor in the movie.
Yeah, that was a creepy ass part he played. That was good.
He was really good, and I think sometimes we forget that he isn't a horrible actor. Yeah, I know he's a director, but he's not as long as you give him a role that he can handle.
Wasn't he in Little Nicky? Didn't he play where did he play the blind preacher?
God,
I think it was Little Nicky.
It may have been. Let me see shit.
But like, there's also rumors he wants to do a Star Trek film.
Really? All that
he wants to do like that's part of what the hang up was in getting the Star Trek 4 greenlit with the Chris Pine cast is that Quentin Tarantino was making noise that he wanted to do a heist Star Trek movie in that universe with Chris Pine.
Yeah, they're not gonna have like multiple ongoing stories at the same time, so it's tough.
Yeah, but that still sounds so dope.
That would be kind of badass, actually. I don't know. I wouldn't. Yeah, that'd be fun. I'd like to see what you come up with. I really would.
Yeah. Speaking about Star Trek, this past week they announced for Picard season 3, Michael Dorn.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like everybody.
Ace McFadden, they're all coming back, baby.
That's awesome, dude. Good for them.
Well, now here's what I want to know. Who I didn't see on there was Will Wheaton. Now, the last we saw his character in the show, he took off with that alien dude because
Okay, but you
he's
also have
right.
to remember Star Trek Nemesis. He was at Deanna and Riker's wedding.
Right. Okay. So that's weird because now was he? Did he poof back there to be at the wedding?
It
and
was
then take
never
off again?
mentioned. It was
It was
never
never
mentioned.
mentioned, but
He
yeah.
was just at the wedding and never in the rest of the movie.
Yeah, but he was there. So
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like I'm wondering. I was wondering what do they consider? Does it consider Wesley Crusher that annoying kid that we got rid of?
But I can't wait because this season of Picard has been so good, and I love the first season.
I think we're almost.
Almost got to be almost done.
I think we're almost caught up. I think Anna and I got one more to watch, and then we'll be caught up.
This past episode was really good.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I don't know. We might be caught up though, Nick. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I think we might have caught up. I can't remember if this last episode was the one that we were caught up on. It might be. We might have been caught. We might have gotten caught up. I don't know. We were about 3 episodes behind. So I had to. We watched it and.
Sam, do you watch Picard?
Mm-mm.
No, oh man,
but that was like another thing that of Star Trek that was the only Star Trek for me was the Next Generation. That's like I was coming out when I was growing up, so I was watching my dad.
Wow.
The first season like wraps up so many things from the end of Next Gen.
Yeah, it does. It helps, especially with Data.
Yeah,
good on them though for kind of sticking to that though, man. I feel like, and then it's like Patrick Stewart, he has a benefit of he's one of those dudes like Morgan Freeman or Samuel Jackson, they've all or Christopher Lloyd, they've always looked old. You know what I mean? So it's they've always been really old. So it's when now when they're actually old, they don't it's not so jarring.
Dude, and John Delancey, the few scenes he's in as Q,
he's amazing, dude. He's amazing.
And dude, Brent Spiner plays another Dr. Soong from the 2024 timeline.
Yep.
And it's crazy.
And his daughter is looks like the chick that he from the other synth. She's a Sith.
Yeah.
A synth, right? Sith. She's a Sith.
She is a secret Sith.
A Sith.
What?
A synthetic.
She's a synth lord.
A synth lord.
That sounds like an 80s fucking metal band. Synth lord. Right. On that note,
please get us the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
EE's got a hangout going for everybody. So
everybody get in there.
Yeah, look for that link wherever you need to.
I'm scared of EE. I've been avoiding him all week.
I've been avoiding him for 32 years, man. I don't blame you.
Michael Plass, it was nice to meet you.
Yeah, dude.
I thought that dude was a Russian bot, but he was
Yeah, you turned out to be a real person.
He's the coolest Russian bot I've ever met, man. That was
nice. He actually got some good responses there, man.
Yeah,
thanks for participating.
I love it. Love to see it. Gort was in here heavy. Fucking
man.
Brink
always bringing it.
Everybody else. Cool, thank you guys for participating.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and sign off for us.
Absolutely.
Like I say every week, man. Oh, I'm a friend of Gort. Oh, okay. Hi.
You're a friend of Gort? Cool. All right.
Nice. Yeah. So
any friend of Gort is a friend of ours.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's how we sign off every week. Peace, love, and hair grease. We're out. Love y'all.
Peace out, guys.
Good night.
Later.
I love that. That's nice. Any friend of Gort is a friend of ours.